It's called Smut. Give me smut and nothing but a dirty novel I can't shut if it's uncut and unsut.
So give it a round of applause for the hosts of Femmes reading Filth, Jessica Moe and Emily Barusian.
Friends.
I feel like I'm gonna cry. Thanks for coming, you guys. I'm Emily.
And I'm Jess.
And this is Femmes Reading Film. By being here tonight, you not only supported us, but one of our favorite charities.
Midwest Access Coalition, which is one of my favorite charities, which $5 of your ticket goes there, just so you know. And they help people who need abortions, necessary medical care, who may not be able to access them in the Midwest, wherever they are. Go access them wherever they can.
We love abortion.
And we support that.
Yay, so thank you so much. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yeah!
Could you please welcome our very special guest, Sarah Murphy? I love hugs. And we can sit. We can do that. Yeah, you can sit. Wow. Oh my gosh.
It's so
First
exciting.
live show.
6 drinks on this table.
Listen, we need our liquids.
All of them.
Here. That's
Hi, everyone.
hello.
Oh my God.
They
this
talk
is-
bad.
Usually there's cats running around, and I just edit out all the stuff of me going, shit.
Yeah.
So you're going to see that live!
And maybe I brought my cat, and maybe she's gonna start screaming in the middle of recording, and
Yep.
you just get to deal with it.
To start out, have you've seen our show?
Yes.
That's a trick question because it's a podcast.
I'll go. No, once you told me that I was going to be on the show, I started listening to season 2. I started with the Christmas episode, and then I made it, I think, 7 or 8 episodes into season 2.
Okay.
I was listening right before I came here.
That's true.
So you understand the basic format of what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
Got it.
And can you just tell us like a little bit about you, and then a little bit about like your relationship with romance, genre, smut, reading? Do you read?
Yeah.
I can read.
Congratulations.
I do ask that of actually all of our guests.
If I can read.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to assume anything.
That's very fair.
I assume something backstage, so I'm never assuming anything again. So
It's very true.
Yes.
I feel like newer to the romance genre. I've only recently started getting back into reading. I feel like I sort of lost my love of reading like a lot of people like in college. And I've only just recently started getting back into it. I used to read a lot more like sci-fi, but then I was like, I want to have fun. I want to just enjoy myself.
sci-fi is famously not fun.
No fun. All serious, all lazy.
Welcome to the Otherworld Theater, by the way.
I like sci-fi too, but I'm having more fun reading romance. I find it's lighter, fluffier. I don't have to think as hard.
That's why
And,
I
like,
read
pay
it.
attention.
That's why I write it.
Did you also do the thing where you were in college and you were like, I need to read the classics, and then just
Yes.
beat the love of reading out?
Oh, absolutely.
I did that too.
I was like, I'm very studious. I'm very serious. I can
Yeah.
only read serious
I
works
have
of
to read the
literature.
Iliad or
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Odyssey.
Yeah, that's
So now
sucks.
it's nice to just read
stupid.
stuff. It's nice to just read stuff and just turn my brain off. for a
Yeah,
little bit,
exactly.
you know?
Exactly. I'm not going to get a master's degree in like the Iliad or the Odyssey or anything like that.
It was the Iliad. Anyway, okay, so that's good. You're a fan.
Yeah.
You know how to read. You understand it. You know what like a trope is.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know you know what to expect.
Yeah.
Cool. So before we get into fated mates, though. Oh, by the way, the topic is fated mates.
Trope is fated mates. So, yeah. So if you guys don't know what that is, we will explain it to
Yeah,
you.
we'll explain it. But before that, I feel like we do this in every episode, and I didn't want to do it differently for a live show, so I wrote down a few podcast thoughts.
Okay.
And we can talk about one.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we got a lot to cover, and but it's been a while since like the inception of this live show. I was like, it's been like a month, a little over a month probably. So
yeah.
I've just had a lot of time
To think?
which is never good. So. Here's some just random thoughts I've had that I was like, I would talk about this one. All right. Number 1, Amazon rabbit hole. I went on an Amazon rabbit hole of books for this, and it ended with milking the Minotaur.
I think we
like,
have the list right there. That's great.
it was really scary. I got into some really weird, like, taboo books, and I was like, and they all had to do with like milking, like breast milk and breastfeeding. I was like, I didn't look for this. Look how high my voice got.
How did you? Okay, so how did you see the title of this and not assume that milking would be involved?
I don't know. I was just like, oh, it's like a beast smut thing. Oh, it's milk. Oh, it's milking. And then, have you ever seen Dave, like the show Dave?
Yes.
There's like a whole episode where his girlfriend thinks he's into milking, and she gets a milking table, and he like lays down. She's like, go for it.
Table?
Yeah, the guy lays down face down on the table, and there's a hole for his
the jump
hoo-ha.
to go in.
Yeah.
I'm already learning so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah, welcome to our podcast.
Number one. Number two.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Sexy. Oh, I don't know if we mentioned this on a podcast before, but I was like, if everyone had a sexy persona, what would it be? And I know mine would be librarian.
Oh.
Like some people are like very dominant, so they'd be like, I'd be a sexy like detective or like a cop. Or like, you know, I like fireplace, so I'd be a sexy firefighter. Okay, so number three was last night I went on a date, and a lot has also changed since
Congratulations. How'd it go?
since the ending of this season 2. I was dating a man, and I'm not anymore. So I'm dating other men now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
It's okay, we're still cool. But I was like, oh, I gotta go home. I have a live show, and he's like, what is it? And I was like, well, it's do you know what fan fiction is? He's like, no. And I was like, oh boy. So I had to like
Okay, so we got a lot of work to do.
and I picked, funnily enough, we had just talked about Harry Potter, but I was like, do you know the show Supernatural? He's like, no. And I go, let me explain Supernatural first. Then I'll talk about how that fan fiction came from that. And then after I explained all of it, and I was like, we read a lot of smut in this. He's like, why didn't you just go with Harry Potter? And I was like, anyways, about Hermione fan fiction. Like, I'm going to be lucky if I get another date. Okay.
Okay.
Number 4, I know I do Kindle Unlimiteds, but I'd like to do an episode or two where I just read like 80s bodice rippers.
Okay.
Like really old Fabio covers, but then I thought that's going to be way too vanilla for me now.
Yeah.
After this podcast.
I think modern romance, fan fiction ruined me at an early age, and I think it's slowly ruining you.
I think it already has.
Yeah, you can't. I have actually tried to go, like, when I'm home and I find my mom's romance novels.
Yeah.
I've flipped through, and I'm like, everyone's saying they love each other like way too much.
Oh, they're too nice.
Everyone's so nice to each
They're
other.
so polite.
They're so polite.
They're so Midwestern about
Where is the hand necklace?
Where is the
the
going
milking?
in?
Where's the table? Where's the table? But I do still read some books that my mother used to have. Fun fact, my mom's here tonight. Mom learned about milking. Okay. Number 5. I'm worried. I'm worried the man I'm supposed to end up with one day will never have a chance with me because they share a name with an ex or my brother.
Oh.
I realize I always pass on, like, I swipe left on anyone named Robert, on anyone named, like, you know.
I think it's not meant to be. I think that you're not meant to be with someone that is named, like, has your dad's name or something like that.
Luckily, no one has my dad's name, so it's totally fine. He has an Armenian name. It's Hagop, and I don't date Armos because I am Armenian. I can say it.
allowed to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm allowed to say it.
For Armenians, not for
Yeah. And the last one is, part of me wants, you know that TikTok song that was, okay, it was actually a lady who was like, if a woman has one margarita,
Yes.
spread her leg.
I'ma open my legs.
Give me
2 margaritas. I'ma give you some head.
Okay, so
we're
I was on the TikTok, as I am every day, and I listened to it, and I listened to it multiple times because I was like, this is such a bop, and I was
it
like,
is.
I would love for like any interlude episodes we do, like, to have that as our theme song.
Yeah.
And I just really love that song. So those were all of my thoughts.
Great.
That I just.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about any of them.
I think we just talked about all of them.
We did too.
Yeah.
My favorite one was the sexy persona
My
librarian.
favorite one was milking the Minotaur.
Milking the Minotaur.
It's a crowd favorite.
It,
Anyway.
isn't that the one that you said you tried to find it again and it had been removed from Amazon?
Yes. Okay, But also, I saw it. I was like, ooh, like Kindle Unlimited. I'll just put it on my Kindle. And then I was like, I don't want to read this. Like, it's not my thing.
Wait, you said you fell down a rabbit hole, right?
Yes.
Where did the rabbit hole start?
It started with Fated Mates.
Okay.
I'm so excited about the book I read tonight. But
Yeah, I mean, we can get into like what Fated Mates is. We came to Fated Mates because you threw us a list of things.
Yes.
So
do you
why?
remember what else was on the list?
Yeah,
by the way?
yeah.
Oh God, no. That text was a month ago. It's out of my head.
That's fair. But like, why? Do you remember why Fated Mates made the list?
Oh, because I was in the midst of reading ACOTAR for the first time. A Court of Thorns and Roses, for those of you who don't know,
Yes.
very popular fantasy romance series that sort of re-kicked my interest in reading. And I was like, well, that's what this is all about, so this is what I can talk about.
And I have gotten many texts being like of you just reading random books now, or you didn't finish a book and you were like, I need more recs, and I was like, girl, I got you.
Yeah.
And I never texted you back, but I will give you those recs.
It's okay. I found one.
Back to Fated Mates.
Yeah.
Can you explain to the folks how Fated Mates comes into play at ACOTAR?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
So in ACOTAR, the main character that you sort of follow for the first 3 books, 3.5, her name is Feyre. She comes to find out that the Lord of the Night Court, Rhysand? How do you say it?
Rhysand. It's the whole thing.
Rhysand.
I always read it as Rise, and then everyone was like, no, it's Rhys, like the piece, not Rye, like
When I read it, it's still Rye. but-
Right, I'll go with Rhysand. Rhysand, you find out that Feyre, who is human, who has turned Fae, is fated to be with Rhysand.
Yes.
And they start out as sort of like an enemies to lovers because she doesn't
So
like
enemies to
him.
lovers.
He's a bad
She
boy.
thinks he's evil, but he's
But he's got such a heart of gold.
She's a Tamlin who's blonde,
Oh,
and Rhys is brown hair.
And Jess is in black.
Yeah.
He's so moody.
He is, but it's only because they're connected, but he can't tell her.
Yeah.
And so he has to keep this secret from her, but he wants her so bad the whole time.
And once they sort of seal the mating bond, and it brings them like even closer together, and they can
Right.
like communicate down
can,
the
like,
bond,
feel each other's feelings. Yeah.
I would love to feel. Actually, no. I'm
No,
gonna take that.
no, you don't. It sounds like hell.
It seems like a lot.
Would love. I want someone to feel my emotions. I don't want to feel theirs.
I don't even want to feel
As in, you don't want them to not know that you're mad at any given time, but you don't want to know that they're mad.
Yes. I want them to know that I'm hungry, and they're like, "Oh, I got you a snack."
Right.
I want them
so you
to
want some like
know-
foresight.
I want them to know that it's been a night and that I'm in the mood and that they shouldn't be asleep already in bed when I get home.
Got it.
Because also we weren't out that night together, I guess. I was out with my friends. We were talking about stuff. It's a long thing.
So that's Fated Mates.
That's Fated Mates.
So I did some. What's this called?
Research.
As I was saying it, I just kept thinking about when my mom said, "I love that Jessica does research and you don't," and I do the research all the time. Don't applaud that, mother.
Everyone, can everyone please applaud for the amount of research that I do?
Everyone,
so much.
everyone knows who the real scholar is. It's actually both of us. We do.
Yeah, we do.
both
I did some research, but I don't want to grab my notes right now, so
Okay.
I'll just.
I did nothing.
Yeah.
That's what you were supposed to do. You're fine. So, Fated Mates is just a romance where the main couple is compelled by fate to be together. Very easy peasy. It's usually found in paranormal, fantasy, or sci-fi stories. Woohoo! Otherworld Theater. Happy Bride. And
It's aggressive.
It
when she
does.
says that.
I've been trying.
Can I tell them what
Yes,
happened
yes,
before the show?
please, please,
Right
please.
before no, it's fine. Speaking of Emily saying Happy Pride, cut all this out if you need to. Right before the show, Emily was saying, "Well, like Chess is bisexual and Sarah's a lesbian," and I was like, "I'm not a lesbian," and she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Last time I saw you, I had on bi pride earrings and had like bi pride eyeshadow." She's like, "Oh, I thought you were just an ally."
I thought you were just supporting.
I was like, "No, that's me. I'm supporting myself."
I'm so sorry. And then you laughed at me.
That was very sweet. So now every single thing that Emily says about pride feels very pointed.
Happy fucking Pride. So in the Fated Maid's Pride, there was just a quote that said, "Physically powerful characters that are powerless in the face of fate," which I was like, oh, that's a really good, that's a good line. Lots of sexual tension. Sometimes it's an enemies to lover, and a la Akatar. A lot of stubbornness happening because they're like, I don't want it, but I have to.
Yeah, I feel like usually a big element of it is one character, the bond happens, and then one character is like, no. And then the other character either is clueless or also is like, no. And then they come together.
And then I know I wrote this later on because it's in a different pen, and it was probably very late. I said, "Fated mates, proving that everything, including the universe, is horny."
Oh.
Honestly. Right. Thank you. And that's my research. I won't drop the
I mean, your research is my research. The only other thing that like I wrote down was more Fated Mates has a like it's very in the fan fiction world, Fated Mates and the Omegaverse live hand in hand.
Correct, yeah.
Because it's very biological. It's like you're just walking along the street one day and you see someone or smell someone or hear someone and all of a sudden you're forced to like deal with this person.
What do you identify most with in that one? Do you see someone, hear someone, smell someone? Because I feel like I smell someone first, to be honest.
Curveball at me.
It's like it's the cologne and then
Smell
I'm
is
like,
very important.
I should talk to them.
Smell is very important, and sound, the voice of someone is very important. Like when I was more dating, and I would sometimes go on dates, and the person would open their mouth, and I know, and the person would open their mouth, and I would be like, oh. This isn't gonna work.
Yeah, I've dated men like that.
We're not gonna deal with this.
It's a bigger guy and they're like, hey, and I'm like, oh no, this isn't. If your voice is higher than mine, if your hair is longer than mine, it's not gonna work.
Oh.
Those are my two, yeah.
Okay.
Because I want to know it's my hair clogging the drain and no one else's.
As like a dominance thing?
I've marked my territory. It's the shower.
Oh, okay,
But yeah,
okay.
I never thought of it as that. Maybe I am a little more dominant than I thought. Ugh. Okay. Well, hey, that was Fated Mates. Do you have any questions about the trope?
No.
You know what you're getting into.
I think so.
Perfect, because we're about to start. Okay, so we're gonna start with mine. We're gonna do the Kindle Unlimited, and
I'm so excited.
read 4 books for this.
4. Wow.
The first one I was like, this isn't doing it. The second one I loved. There was no sex in it because it's like a trilogy, you know, and the sex was gonna come.
You gotta
later.
build to the sex.
Yeah, but it did involve a prison. And then the third one, the third one was a vampire one, which was too like on the nose. It was very much like. It was just too much. I was just like, that's not fun. That's just dumb. And then the fourth, so I read 5. So then the fourth one was a shifter romance in which it was like already a pre-established thing, and I just didn't want to read the other 3 books.
Say really quick what a shifter romance is, just for the education?
Do you guys know what a werewolf is? Yeah. Kind of like that. You can shift into an animal. It's usually a wolf. That's the most like popular version.
But it could also be a flamingo. We don't know.
Yeah, or a unicorn.
Whatever floats your boat.
I did come across a few that was like, I swear to God, it was Firefighter Shifter Fated Mates. That was the series, and it was like the hot unicorn.
Wait, they shifted into firefighters, or they were firefighters?
The firefighters were also shifters, and they each had a different animal.
Got it.
One was like hot for the griffin. One was like, and they were all like mythical animals too.
That's
but
fun.
then there was like Bobcat on the prowl. And I was like, this guy he got traded to another. Is that what you do with firefighters? You get traded to.
They get drafted to other fire departments.
They do stuff. They just switch. People go.
Picturing like a firefighter coming into his boss's office and say, "You've been traded."
You have to go to. I got too many bobcats.
I can't go back to the 88 truck, boss. No.
Anyway, and then what you actually read was
Yeah, what'd you read?
I did read something called One Night in Garoureeve.
In what?
One Night in Garoureeve.
Garoureeve?
Say it with me. Garoureeve. It's a town.
it's all one word.
It's all one word.
Okay.
World and word.
Okay.
When I read it
for them.
first, I was saying it Garoureeve. And there's a whole scene in which they pronounce it. So I'll get
Oh, that's nice of
I know,
them.
it is nice. So
thought
it's
ahead.
Somebody got a note from their publisher.
Exactly. No one's gonna know how to do that. I wish they did that in Akatar too, but that's fine. Okay, so One Night in Garoureeve. It's by Elle Drew. It's 296 pages, and it came out November 30th, 2021. So it's like somewhat recent.
Okay.
It's only a single POV, so it's all from Ariana's point of view.
Got it. A normal name.
That's the only one.
Great.
Okay. Ariana stopped in Garoureeve in the middle of her 18-hour drive home because she was tired. She went to the bar because it's across the street from the inn. So she was just like, the inn.
Okay.
Is this
It's a tiny podunk town, one main street.
Is there like is there like a specific time period that I should be picturing in my head?
Nowadays.
Okay, because you said inn, and I was like full Lord of the Rings like type situation.
No, just in the the motel.
Okay, just for my brain.
She went to the bar because she's like, I just need a drink. It's been a long weekend. She's coming back from Houston, having been at a friend's wedding where she was a bridesmaid. And she kind of waxes on about how she was like, this wedding kind of sucked. I just felt like the fat friend, like, I feel like I was just like, no one really cared if I was there. She's kind of like being like a sorry, meow, meow, meow. And it's a country bar, and she stopped being tired when she gets in there. She sees the very hunky bartender.
Oh.
Okay.
His jeans are quite tight on his backside. White t-shirt has rolled up sleeves. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh, he's a greaser. But he's not. He has like a backwards cap. He's like a little scruffy, and he's just like a really tall, big guy.
Okay.
And that's like all we know about him. Mm-hmm. There's like 3 other people in the country bar, and it's like pretty much dead, and he's barely looking after her. He gave her a beer, and he was like, and so he's like just sitting at the other end of the bar, and she's just kind of sitting there like, what should I do? What should I do? And I assume this area is somewhere in Kentucky. I tried to do math because, like, in the middle of an 18-hour thing from Houston to Chicago. Oh, she's going to Chicago.
You did research and math for this episode?
Did you Google?
Oh my god! Yeah. Map this route out? Oh my god!
Are you proud of me, Mom?
She's driving from Houston to Chicago.
Yeah. And she describes it as a very, like, country town.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, must be. I thought she was going to like Florida. None of this matters. But I thought she was going to Florida at first. So I was like, it must be Mississippi or Louisiana. But no, it's much higher on the scale. And so I think it was a whoop. I think it was a curved bell, if you will.
Whoop?
If a bell was upside down.
Got it.
Anyway, so it's like
We're all picturing Kentucky.
Yeah, just picture Kentucky.
Sure.
Because that's what I pictured.
Great.
She doesn't remember seeing the town on any GPS when she was like looking on the map, but it just popped up when she needed it most, if you will.
Are we doing a Schmigadoon type situation?
Garoureeve, if you rearrange the letters, is Schmigadoon. And so she was like, you know what, I do need to just stop for the night. When she crossed the town like border, her cell service immediately went away.
Got it.
And she says the town feels kind of eerie, but there's kind of a life to it. It's kind of alive.
How mystical.
$3, 2 bags.
Somewhere in Kentucky.
That was from Thoroughly Modern Millie. So she's, I said this.
Annie. It's Annie.
No, $3, 2 bags.
It's the star to be singer in Annie. Sorry, I'm gonna shut up now.
Wait, what am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Thoroughly Modern Millie, the musical with Sutton Foster.
Right.
Yeah, she's a flapper.
I've seen
This is my special interest. But Annie, you know, they're in NYC,
They
and
both
the star to
have
be gets off the bus.
they both have suitcases at one point. So
That's kind of where it ends. As far
And
as
it's a similar energy.
there's like an energy, there's an era.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Garoureeve. I apologize for my non-knowing musical.
It's okay. I still love you.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Happy Pride. Was the pointing not good? Happy Pride.
So aggressive.
We learn more about her life back home. She's actually headed back to Chicago because she's packing up to leave her cheating ex-boyfriend. Exactly. Who she lives with. And she's like, and from there, I guess I'll figure out. Oh, she also got fired.
Oh my god!
Something that like wasn't
Was she
her
bad at
fault.
her job? Or?
No,
Okay.
her boss like blamed something on her. This doesn't matter really to the plot, but it adds to the misery.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, I want to go back to the motel and I want to shower and sleep, but also I really want to bang this hot bartender.
Who
Like,
doesn't?
Understood.
And she's like, it's just a one night stand. But then she's like, you know what? No. And she gets up to leave, and he's like, whoa, where are you going? And
Cher entered the bar.
do you believe? He says he'll give her one more drink if she just stays and like hangs out while they close up the bar together. We get a physical description of her. She's very short and, in her own quote, nowhere near the slender side. But he ends up and he like checks her out, and she's like, he's checking me out. You know what? I am hot. And I was like, I love this. I love this body positivity in this. But she's like a Rubenesque woman. might be a good voluptuous.
Okay, you got me with the voluptuous. I didn't know what you meant with the first thing.
Oh,
I was like
did I use that term right?
I was like a Reuben sandwich.
Picture, yes, like a thick
Picture
like
in
a sandwich.
Arby's.
Thick like a sandwich. Picture in Arby's. But she's very pretty, and she's like, okay, he checks me out. She stays. A patron calls him over, and his name is Cole, and it's short for Colburn.
Shut the fuck up. No.
Colburn Reeve.
I hate it.
You said
I hate
this
that you
takes
made eye
place.
contact with me while you said it too.
I'm gonna make eye contact with you every time I see a name. Colburn Reeve.
You said this takes place in the modern era?
correct.
But it's in Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I take it
Backwards
back.
down there.
I take it back.
You know, they only have $3 in 2 bags down there. One me. They get to talking, and he says this town has a way of leading the right people here at the right time. They end up eating dinner as the whole bar empties the whole 3 other people that are there. They leave, and they're eating and having a good time, and he mentions that he lives upstairs, and she realizes this person that she is right now laughing and having a good time is who she used to be before the toxic relationship. We've all been there. And he asks if she wants to talk about why she's so sad.
Wow.
And she goes, no, but I proposition you. And so she's like, we can go upstairs. And he goes, you can do better than that. Be a good girl and tell me what you need.
The fuck?
She goes, Colburn. And then Ariana goes, I need someone to fuck the stress out of me, and you look like you're up for the task.
Damn, Ariana.
She knows what she wants.
Wait, though. Then he gets up and goes.
Sorry, we're ready.
You don't know what you want. And then turns and goes into the kitchen, and I was like, and then she's like, oh, I feel weird. I think I was just rejected. So she like starts putting money on the table. She's getting up to go. And he like comes back out. He like took the plates, you know?
Yeah.
And he comes back out of the kitchen. He's like, where are you going? She's like, well, I'm going to go home. He's like, no, you're not. You're going to be mine, and I take care of what's mine. He does a whole speech about how she's going to forget that anyone she's ever been with, she's going to forget the names of anyone she's ever had sex with, because he's going to like replace it. And like, he's so good at banging. With his dick. His dick's going to be the new name on her list. And she's like, well, what's stopping you? Just stop talking and just do it. And he's like, he wants explicit consent.
We love that.
On this podcast, we love good communication.
Amen.
And he wants her to say all the things that he's gonna do. And he goes, I don't do anything that you don't ask for. So she says she's in town for one night only. And she's gonna spend it with him upstairs. She consents and tells him to kiss her, and he says, first I'm gonna kiss you here, and then we're gonna go upstairs to bed. Do you want me to do this good Kentucky accent?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm all in.
I apologize to anyone who's from
I'm having
Kentucky.
a lot of feelings about it.
So he picks her up and puts her on the bar and says, I never thought I would find you. And then they kiss.
The fuck's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you'll learn.
Oh, I will.
And then he leans over her on the bar, which leads me to believe
How
that
tall
she.
is he?
So he's quite tall. She's
Okay.
quite short. She's like 5'3".
Okay.
And I call this scene number 1. We'll eat at the bar. And he goes, fuck, I take umbrage with this. This is the first of like 3 that I've written this down. I said I take umbrage. It says, fuck, I knew I could smell you. In relation to how wet she is.
Ew.
That is not sexy.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Homework. Keep that to yourself.
Has dried up. Reverse.
When I said that smell was the first thing that I looked for in a man, that was not what I was thinking. So, okay, and then this whole scene is like, honestly, this is like a fun book, but there's like parts where I'm like, what the fuck is happening? In quotes, he pulled down her shorts where she desperately needed a wax.
I hate this man.
Why would you put that in? Why would you put... I'm so sorry, Bryce. I'm yelling into the mic. Why would you put that in? And I said, oh my
You're
God, I'm
trying to
dying
normalize
Yes, normalize bushes.
normalize bushes.
Yeah, we don't have to trim a hedge.
Which,
but
like, no shame if that's
no
what you
shame.
do.
So he calls her kitten and he says, let me hear you purr. So I was like, I didn't know what kind of book this was. And I go, okay, maybe this is a mountain lion shifter, because I know it's some sort of fantasy element. I know fate is involved.
Right.
He says, purr, I want you to be my lion, but you're my kitten right now, blah, blah, blah. I'm
He says
paraphrasing.
that?
I'm paraphrasing. So then
right.
He's up in the bed. They go up to the bedroom and intercourse occurs. And I call this number 2, finally in the bed, but her poor back. So it starts out as a very, you'll hear. It starts out as a very intimate, like together joining, if you will. And then he pulls her legs up. So the feet are on the shoulders, if you will.
Okay.
But then she says that her butt has been lifted up.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
her
she's
poor
like,
abs.
Like
So-
she's on her shoulders.
She's on, but
fully.
then she says, then only the shoulders are touching the bed while he stands.
Yeah. So
He's
she's
standing
like,
on he's standing on the bed.
So wait, he's standing on the bed though.
Standing on the bed.
That doesn't seem
And
right.
just her shoulders. So I said her poor back because I
it's
have
really
back.
hard to get that kind of like balance when you're on a bed.
So, I mean, that was a lot. And he denies her. He edges her, tells her to demand more, and then she does. Then he flips her over, and this goes to number 3. This is within the first, 10% of the book.
Oh, goddamn.
The lioness comes out, in which she scratches him, and there's some growling, and it happens. They fall asleep. She tries to sneak out at one point, and he's like, no, you come back to bed. I don't know why he turned into a prospector. I
I
apologize.
like that. I like that better than the Kentucky thing.
He comes back to bed, and in the morning he asks her to stay, but she can't. So she stops at the bakery to get a moon pie, because that's what they're known for. And then she heads out of town, and the last thing we see is him in the rearview mirror, just leaning up against the bar, kind of like wishing she was still there.
Wow.
So a week goes by. She's back in Chicago. She's been moving on her things little by little.
Where does she live in Chicago? This is important to me.
in a brownstone. So I'm assuming, I believe it's Old Town.
Okay.
The ex-boyfriend named Derek, which is normal.
A normal name.
Normal
dated
name.
Derek.
We
He
learn
was
more. Yeah. We learn more about him. Sorry, that wasn't to your Derek. Actually, well, I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
not my
very
Derek
well.
anymore. It's okay.
He's the world's Derek now.
Yeah.
She caught him sleeping with Courtney, her best friend. When she came home early from being fired. It was all the same day. Yes. They had been together for 6 years, and he's the worst. Think like tech bro with a bruised ego.
Yeah. I mean, Old Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she leaves and she starts driving aimlessly. She's packed up her car. She's like, I don't know where to go. Maybe I'll go. She's not Southern. She's like, maybe I'll go back to Houston. Maybe I'll go see my parents in Florida. And she's driving not on the same path that she was to get back from the maybe Kentucky area, but somehow a sign pops up. Garoureeve, 5 miles.
Oh. Interesting.
She thinks she's going crazy, but she's like, this is not the same way. She is like, fuck it, I'm gonna go and I'll just figure it out from there. She parks at the end, looks across the street, and sees Colburn. Just leaning against the bar outside, kind of where we left him. That's
all he does?
It's a very small town. There's not much to do. So she's crying because she doesn't know what to do. He's watching her. She's like, oh, this is weird. I'm going to go into the bakery and get another moon pie. And what is a moon pie? Does anyone know?
Yeah. Does anyone?
Chocolate? Okay.
Okay, yeah, I see why she's getting multiple.
Okay, if you didn't hear that on the podcast, it was 2 pieces of cookie cakey stuff with marshmallows
Isn't
in the
it
middle.
usually like an oatmeal type cookie, or am I thinking of? Okay.
Okay. So she got to get moon pie, and
Good for her.
she
It
talks.
sounds delicious. Thank
Yeah.
you, Andrea.
She talks to the baker, whose name is Marduk.
Who the fuck is naming kids in this town?
M-A-R-D-O-C. Marduk.
Marduk.
Is that right? Marduk? M-A-R-D-O-C?
M-A-R-D-O-C.
Is every mother drunk naming their child in this town?
Kentucky, maybe.
I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
And as she's trying to buy stuff, Colburn comes in and he pays, and the Marduk is like, no, we owe your family gratitude. You never pay. And she's like, huh? Oh, well, I'll take a free moon pie. Colburn learns that she needs a place to stay for a few nights. He insists that she stay with him at his place. She insists that it's only for a few days and that he's like, I'll take what I can get. Like, I need you. I miss you.
Okay.
And she kisses him in the bakery, and he leaves, and the baker was like, thank God you're back. He was such an asshole when you left.
Well, he was standing outside the bar for 4 days.
And then he says, he almost killed himself running after you.
What?
He was leaning.
That's what we thought. Who knows? So we'll find out later.
Does she wait? Because this is the creepiest thing that you could possibly be told about a one night.
Yeah.
Does she react in any way to this?
She's like, oh, that's weird. I thought I saw him standing against the bar. She heads up to his apartment to shower. Also, like, there's little bits and bobs. Like, I never stopped thinking about him. Like, like, there's this pull towards him, blah, blah. So she's just, like, dickmatized by this. She's fine. She heads up to his apartment to shower and takes in the whole apartment and realizes that everything is custom made and it's, like, expensive. And she's like, I didn't look at any of this before. This is all beautiful.
She was too busy doing a reverse crunch.
She was too busy. She's looking at her poor back. He brings up food. They eat together on the couch. She's about to tell him about like her life, about the breakup and all this, when there's a howl from outside. And he's like, "Ooh, I gotta go actually, but I'll crawl into bed tonight." And she's like, "Okay." The next morning, she wakes up to find him cooking all the things. And he sets out these plates, and it's the same amount on each plate. It's eggs, bacon, pancakes. He even made biscuits.
Wow.
And she has this whole moment where she realizes that Derek treated her terribly for the past 6 years. He was giving her smaller portions. He was restricting her food intake, not letting her eat certain things.
Oh my God.
To which I said, I think that's abuse. Okay. The next day, she's back at the inn. She's like, I only stayed for like 2 days. I need my space. She's back at the inn. She buys a pen and paper. And she's like, I'm going to make a list. Girl after my own heart. And she starts thinking about Colburn and the town. And she's like, I don't know anything, but I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Then she starts making a list of the stuff she knows about the town. She's like, 3 people, a bar, howling. And she in this list making frenzy that she's doing, she ends up running across the street and asking him, because she can't stop thinking about it, barges into his apartment. He's like, yeah, what's up? Which is weird to me. But she goes, did you chase after me? Did you chase after the car? And he goes, yes. And he can't just do one night again. So if you're gonna stay, I need you to stay, and I want to be with you. And I know this is crazy, but like I can't stop thinking about you. He can't answer why, but he's holding himself back, and he says he wants to touch her so bad, and he won't touch her until she understands. And then she's like, I give you permission to touch me, which leads to number 4, up against the wall and maybe a mating, possibly.
Okay.
Because she says she feels their hearts beat as one, and it was a very intense doggy style.
That feels like, a thing that would really create a soul bond.
Yeah. To start against a wall, too, is very... I love a good...
Did the doggy
I was going to say, the doggy style start against the wall?
Unsure.
Okay. But I understand.
Well, that would work, too. It's just her poor back.
I just called you a chiropractor.
She's gotta go. There's gotta be a chiropractor in this town. So the next day, Colburn is like... Also, she tries to call him Cole, and he's like, no, I want you to call me Colburn. Everyone else calls him Cole. She gets Colburn, which I was like, ugh, I want it the other way.
Yeah.
He leads her through the forest, and I take umbrage again. She says, wow, I would definitely walk more out here than I ever did in the city. It's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
You walk everywhere in the city. Oh, and then she goes, my back will feel better now that I'm like not hunched over a desk all the time. And I said, bitch, it's been 3 days. Your back is not going to feel better but then I also said, I guess the town is magic, maybe, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, it sounds like she's just decided that she was really sad in Chicago, so she's just going to roll with it.
But I was just like, I walk so much in this city, and I don't wear certain shoes because I'm like, on that night out, I know I'm going to go.
But if Derek was like a tech bro, it might have been a situation.
Derek had a car.
Yeah.
Derek had an Uber account. Derek
taking
had
lifts
daddy's Uber
everywhere.
account. Yeah. So he leads her to an old cabin where he grew up, and she's like, maybe I shouldn't ask questions. He seems tense, and he mentions that he had brothers. And this is where we find out.
Every single thing this man has done feels like the beginning of a horror movie.
It does.
This is where we find out that the
had
town name.
brothers. Here's the cabin in the middle of the woods where I grew up.
Come with me.
I nearly killed myself over you.
Stay with me forever. I can't explain why.
He's cleaned up the cabin though. It's like nice.
Oh, he did the bare minimum.
Yeah, well, he still like goes out there sometimes. He grew up there, but there's some scratch marks in the wall. I don't know why.
Weird.
And some like chains. But also we find out that the town's name is in fact Garoureeve, and I wrote it out as Garoureeve. And it's a full fucking scene. And I was just like, oh yeah, this was an editor's note.
Yes.
He says he wants to move back to the cabin one day and raise a family. She's like, oh, family? And he's like, I just was meaning one day. I've known you for like a week, so just chill out. And I was like, okay, this is a weird
That's
role
a
reversal.
tone shift from Be With Me Forever, but okay.
He finally asks her to tell him the story, and she does, and she realizes she's mostly embarrassed because, she realizes this practical stranger that she's known for a week has treated her better than Derek has in 6 years. And it's boo.
Fuck Derek.
Fuck Derek. Sorry, Derek. They also have a whole talk about how she's like, I'm fat. And he's like, no, you're not. Don't say that. And she goes, no, it's not an insult. I know I'm fat. I just am. And I'm proud of that. And like, if that's something that you're gonna be upset about, like, just know that that's not gonna change. This is what I've always looked at.
I like that. I like her for a moment right now.
Yes.
One brief moment.
He goes, I like that you love that. It sounded negative coming out of your mouth, but like, I love the way you look. And he goes, I think if anything, you should uptake your calories because we're gonna fuck a lot and maybe do some yoga.
So you should have more moon pies.
Oh, that's why he's giving her such a full breakfast.
The next day, he takes her to the old Reeve farm, which is where he cooked her dinner, and there's no electricity, just a wood burning.
Is that where his brothers are?
Don't mention the brothers. He had them, Jessica.
Got it.
They are no longer here. But they start talking about the perfect home. She's like, I love the charm of this. And I was like, bitch, you haven't had cell service or internet or TV for like a week. You've just been having sex. Like,
yeah, but the dick was really good.
she was dickmatized. They start talking about it, and he's like, what if you like designed this place? What if you like added on? And she's like, I went to school for business. And he's like, so?
The business of design.
And she starts her dream of becoming a designer, which we learned just happened right then. And I was like, oh, girl.
I love a girl with passion.
So then the next day happens. This is like, that's all you need to know. She realizes she's been there for 10 days. And she kind of has this come to Jesus moment. And Colburn is like, maybe it's a sign that you should stay. And she's like, you know what? Yeah, I hated my life before. And it makes him very happy, which leads to number 5 called We're Moving In Together.
Doesn't she have any like friends or cousins,
parents,
anything?
No.
a dog?
No.
Wow.
No, actually, she does have all those things, but she doesn't care. Okay. She does say at one point, she's like, my parents don't love me. And I was like, damn!
They don't care. You're just going to bumblefuck nowhere.
And she also had stated, like, she was just in that wedding. Also, she was just in a wedding. She knows someone well enough to be in a wedding.
I
but
guess
like,
if the doggy style is good enough, you
The
can
doggy
abandon your
style's
entire
good
family.
Get it on a t-shirt.
Here's my favorite part. The 2 days later, she wakes up with terrible cramps, and she says, now they're about to face the real test. What? Her period came.
Oh.
And he panics. He panics and buys everything in the store, like everything to a point where I'm like, that's embarrassing. And he kind of pulls her back into bed, and she's like, I gotta go. And she like does everything. We've all done it before, where we waddle to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Pants are, full of period blood.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna buy you everything. And I just wrote, this is a weird scene because it's like, I like don't want to be, I want to be taken care of when I'm on my period, but I also don't want anyone to touch or look at me ever.
Yeah.
So I had a hard time with
So other than buy her things then, what does he?
He like rubs her tummy, her feet, like he at one point like helps her to the bathroom, and he's like, can I help you clean up? And she's like, no. Right? Thank you.
Like the most I want is to be like cuddled.
Also,
Maybe.
don't touch my tummy.
No.
Never.
I don't
Never
know.
touch
That's
it.
where that heat pack goes.
I carry things in there. No one would.
Well, not if you're on your period.
We do learn that she has endometriosis though, so I was like, oh, this makes more sense.
Yeah, this adds up.
It's worse.
It's bad. Oh my god, that makes his behavior even worse.
I know. So days later, she's needing out of the apartment. She's like, I've been with my endometriosis for days. I'm going to go to the bar. She learns more about the town. There's only 50 people there. She tries to ask more questions, but Colburn the whole time is like, you gonna ask questions? Like, he's like, yeah, like being all sweet. And she's like, you're so cute. And like, she just forgets everything. And I was like, red flag.
That's her. Girl. This is how people get murdered.
But then we learned Murdoch comes in. There's a problem at the Gunderson's house. It's probably the oldest boy. They're thinking it's about time. So he's like, gotta go. And she's like, okay, that sounds right. Like, doesn't question it.
What? This is the most head empty woman I've ever seen.
So the next day, she's walking around. She sees Cole arguing with 2 guys, and they kind of mention her name. And she's like, what's going on? And he's like, just like go upstairs. It's like totally fine. And she's like, okay. And she goes and does laundry. And he comes up and he's tense. And he goes, I need you. And she's like, yes. Which leads to number 6. That ain't the delicate cycle. And they do it.
Does she get stuck in the dryer?
I wish. It's over the washer dryer unit, but I was like, wouldn't that be banging around? Like, and she's like, at one point her head hits the. It's intense, but it gets so intense, and she suddenly smells smoke and fire. Afterwards, she's like, "Did you smell that?" And he's like, "No." That's weird. Why would smoke happen? She's like, "Can you go check?" And he's like, "Oh, it's definitely the laundry. The laundry was on fire."
Oh my God.
And she's like, "It wasn't. Like, that's really suspicious."
And she hadn't smelled smoke or fire during any of their other fucking.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this
But,
man can smell pussy a mile away, but can't identify fire.
No.
I'm just stating the obvious here. The math isn't mathing.
No, it's not mathing. This is the part I didn't do math for.
Thank you.
But she's just like, okay, like, I believe you. Which she's like, I don't believe him, but I'll say I do. So the next day she goes into a bookshop and she's kind of talking to people, and somebody named Rodolphe. Rodolphe is like, "Aren't you Cole's mate?" And she's like, "What?" And then Sylvester comes in. And Sylvester comes in. He's like, "You're such a dummy. Why don't you walk back with me?" And she's like, "Okay, that sounds suspicious, but sure."
So
she asked.
also, the author totally took Rodolphus Lestrange from Harry Potter and just got rid of the us. That's what she did.
I believe that. Yeah.
Please continue. Sorry, I just had to say
No,
that.
I had to take a drink.
It just hurt me too much to not just dissect what the fuck was going on there.
So she takes this time to ask Sylvester about why there's no women really in town, and that there's only like 50 people. There's like 2 old ladies pretty much in town. That's it. He goes, "Well, there was a really big accident a few years back. That's like all the young
The lady factor.
All the women died.
all the women died." And he's like, "You know what? I don't want to say anything. Like, you have to ask Cole about it."
Triangle choice.
Follows him out. Oh, sorry. So then she's like, "I will ask Cole." She walks out to the farm. She can't find him, but then she does, and she's like, "I'll follow him in the woods," where he disappears. She's like, "That's weird." Oh well, classic Cole. And that night she goes home. She's making a list of things to ask Cole because she's been there for like what 2-3 weeks now, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Why are the women dead?
Where is the factory?
Where is the factory?" And she comes home and she immediately forgets about the list because he's like, "I need you." She's like, "Yes."
Oh, dickmatized.
Which leads to number 7. The kitchen counter won't ever be the same. Oh, sorry, my notes. Again, I write this like as I'm reading, so I said, "The kitchen counter won't ever be the same," and then in all caps, "Oh my God, he said breed."
Oh,
It's a breeding. But they don't breed. But he's like, "I'm gonna breed you."
oh, breeding king.
No, breeding kink. Milking away. Afterwards, after the sex, she's in bed. She's just like, ugh. He finds the paper and he's like, "What's this?" Like, in a way that I'm like, is he gonna kill her?
Oh, he can't read.
He can't. I should have asked him.
What are these scribbles?
And she finally asks about the issue, and he goes, 15 years ago, there was a fire, there was a big party, all these people got trapped in a house and died.
Oh,
It killed 30 people. So there were 70 people in this town, by the way. That's the math.
80?
That's the math. 50.
There were 80?
You're so pretty. Hey, you are doing so good, and this live show is like so great.
Should have
You're
done the
doing so
math
good.
before.
Hey, 3 bucks, 2 bags, 1 me. It doesn't matter.
That's from Annie.
Yeah, it is.
I know that's from Annie.
It is from Annie.
I'm so.
Do you want to get back to the live
Yeah.
show? Okay, you want to come out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there were 80 people in the town.
Some said 70. I know it's 80.
Upwards of 80.
Oh, this is when she's like, "I'm gonna go shopping and start my new life." She takes her car, she drives, she gets like 5 feet out of town. Her like tire bursts. She's like, "Oh boy!" She hoofs it back to the mechanic shop where she sees the guy who was fighting with Cole earlier on the street, and she's like, "Huh, okay." And his name is Tristan. Normal name.
Normal name.
Okay.
Great.
And he's like, "You're an idiot. I'm not gonna fix your car." Like, literally, that's what happens.
Okay, fuck you.
She's like, "What?" He's like, "You can't leave the town." She's like, "What do you mean? Of course I can leave the town." And he's like, "You know what? Don't tell Cole I said any of this because he'll literally kill me. But why don't you go up to the farm tomorrow night and like lock the door?" And she's like, "Sounds good. I will."
Oh my God.
No question. She's just like, "Will you also fix my car?" He's like, "I guess." I guess I'll fucking get your car 5 feet out of town and fix the one tire. But don't tell Cole I did it. And I was just like, this is starting to get a little like mafioso, which made me love it even more. It's a murder book, and I love a good murder. Ariana goes to the bar during the day, and she sees all these shackles, and they're really small. And she's like, "Why are there small shackles in the barn with all the barn equipment?" And I said, she goes, that night her and Colburn go slow. And I wrote, when two become one heartbeats, because their heartbeats become one again. But the whole time she's like, this is a goodbye fuck. We're done. Like, after tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen, but like.
Until he finds her list.
Until he finds her list.
And he learns how to read.
Yeah.
So, okay, here we go. Next night, she sneaks. This is like pretty much the end, by the way. She sneaks up to the farmhouse, locks herself in, sees a bunch of guys going into the barn, and she thinks that they smell her, which. Well, I think like perfume, not like vagina.
I was going in a different direction.
It's a moment of like, we're in the bar. What? Woman?
And then there hasn't been a woman in these parts in over 50 years.
They all died.
They all die. Ghost women. So she goes. She's like, wow, this is so dumb. Why am I here? And then.
Oh, it only took how many pages?
What do you think comes out of the barn at night?
Werewolves?
What do you think?
Some kind of wolf.
It's a wolf. It's a wolf shifter book. A bunch of wolves come out, and the biggest, baddest wolf immediately looks at her through the window. She's like, fuck, my boyfriend's a werewolf. That's a literal quote. And then she runs into the room, locks herself. She hears the wolf like paw at the door and then just settle. And she's like, well, I'm trapped in here the night. And then here are my notes. Okay, here we go. It's a town of shifters. The town is made to protect the pack. Other humans have come through, but they've always left. She is the only one to come back because magic. She's not. And then they have a whole talk, and he's just kind of like sitting there defeated. I'm not mad because you're a wolf. I'm mad because you lied about it.
It's the lack of communication.
It's the lack of communication is so on this podcast, we love communication.
Communication's so important.
And now she's like, and now I feel dumb. And he's also like, oh, by the way, you're my mate. It's like fate, blah, blah, whatever. And like the town brings you here. Like the town only brings people who need like the town brings. Mm-hmm. Like the town is the fate. Yeah. The magic and fate is Garoureeve.
Okay.
Town
magic.
Sorry,
what about all the other women? Did the magic not work for them?
When you're pregnant as a shifter, you can't shift. So they couldn't shift back into their wolf.
They were all pregnant.
It was a breeding. There was a breeding party, I guess. Well, isn't that a thing when all the wolves on the moon cycle?
What?
Hey, you're doing so good.
What? Say more.
Yeah, tell me more.
If one wolf gets pregnant, all wolves get pregnant. It catches like a cold. A wildfire, much like the accident.
Right.
There's no condoms.
There's no condoms.
They don't have wolf condoms.
See, I don't have an answer for you because I've never Googled how this works.
Who wants to Google wolf pregnancy for us? No. Thank you, Jake. Thank you. At the intermission, please tell us. Okay, so she's like, well, you didn't pick me. The fate picked me. Like, you're stuck with me. I don't think you actually love me. And he's like, no, dummy, I'm in love with you. It's fate. And she's like, I need time. And so he's like, okay. He's like, okay, you know what? You do need time. You do need time to think about this. He gives her a kiss on the forehead and is like, you can leave the town. Wow. I was like, damn! So she leaves the town. She drives around, gets a Slurpee. Is at
what color is the Slurpee?
I believe it was blue.
Okay.
And she drives around literally for like 3 hours, and she goes, fuck, I love that guy.
What?
And as she's driving, she like literally in her peripheral, she sees Garoureeve 5 miles. It's like the sign like popped up again. She's like, it is magic. And so she comes back to the town line. He's waiting for her at the town line because he goes,
he didn't kill himself?
No, he's like, I felt you need me. She's like, I did need you. And they jump into each other's arms and they're like, let's mate. And she's like, huh? And so he's like, oh, it's kind of like a wedding. Also, like, you might turn into a werewolf. And she's like, yep. So then they bang, and it's called... but then she doesn't turn into a shifter, and she's totally okay with that. And she's like, also, I can't have kids. And he's like, that's okay. And that's how the book ends.
What? Did you just speedrun the end? What?
That's the ending. All of that happened, and she's like, oh, I guess I'm not a wolf. He's like, that's okay. I still love you.
Wait, I still want to know about the fire smell when they're fucking in the laundry room.
I think it was so intense that their bodies had so much friction. I think
You ever started on fire with a dick and pussy?
like, is that a wolf? That must be a wolf thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
maybe
somebody
he
could
was
Google
maybe
that.
he was running around outside.
Jake,
as
if
a
you
wolf.
could Google fire starting
with
wolf
dick.
yeah,
Dick
fire starter.
Yeah. For with wolves specifically, though. Yeah.
So we do usually have a game at the end of these, if you do know. But I feel like it's weird if like Jess and I play the game with just you. So I figured we could.
we still love
you. We still love Annie. And I just want happy Pride. So I figured we could pull up two people to play the game with Sarah.
Yeah, I think so. Some
Yeah.
of our previous podcast guests.
Yeah. So can we welcome Sean Buckley and Will Nicholson up to the stage? All right. So we're gonna play Would You Rather. So I'm just gonna and let's keep. We have 4 people playing. Let's keep them a little concise, if we will, please. All right. So number 1, they're all also based off the book we just talked about. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's what that's about. So, anyways, number 1, would you rather proposition the hot bartender would you rather proposition the hot bartender or go home and sleep because you've got like an 8-hour drive the next day? Like, let's answer like honestly. Come on. You just drove 8 hours from Houston to maybe Kentucky. You've got another 8-hour maybe Kentucky to Chicago.
Can I have a clarifying question?
Yeah, what's up?
Am I also on my way to move myself out of my cheating ex-boyfriend's apartment?
Good question.
Yeah, boo.
Boo, Derek. I think you're good. Not Bo Derek. Boo, Derek. I'm gonna say you have a lot of physical activity to do the next day. I'm not gonna say if it's moving out of a cheating ex-boyfriend's though, but you have a lot of the similar physical tiring activity.
Then I'm going to sleep.
You're gonna go sleep?
going to
Okay. Jess?
I am also going to sleep.
Yeah. Sarah?
I'm propositioning the bartender.
Yeah.
I'm down to fuck.
Okay.
I agree with Sarah. Like, driving, not that hard. All I need is my calves. Like, come on.
Okay. Okay.
It's only the back that's gonna hurt, based on everything we've read. He still has his calves. He's fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, I like that. This is the sexy side. Cool. Just kidding. We're all sexy. We're all sexy.
Absolutely.
All right, number 2. Would you rather be called a kitten or a lion/lioness? In the heat of the moment.
Can I say neither?
No, you have to pick one. So it's either like,
Can I say both?
hell yeah, you can.
Great.
So it's probably like it's like, oh. No, I don't.
No, it's okay. You can say it. It's a safe space.
Oh, kitten. Or it's like, oh,
Never
my
mind.
lioness. No, never mind. I was trying to put a little Kentucky twang on there too for you. Maybe Arkansas twang.
I mean, both. Listen, sometimes you want to be the lion, sometimes you want to be the kitten, and like, give me a tall queen to like, make me a kitten. I'm here for it.
Okay. I see that.
That's my answer.
Sarah,
Lioness.
Sean,
I think lioness.
yeah.
I think lioness.
I-
I hate them both.
I was gonna say, I feel like
Wow, nobody else wants a kitten?
If someone called me a kitten in bed, I would immediately laugh.
Me too.
I could not take it serious.
Okay, and sex should be funny sometimes.
I don't even want to.
Sarah's doing a lot of emotional labor during this podcast.
I really am.
Number 3, would you rather let your one night stand cook breakfast for you or grab a moon pie and head on out? Again, you're gonna drive 8 hours. Do you want a full breakfast with a guy that you just banged, or you want a moon pie?
Remind me, how good was the sex the night before?
It was
Like, how
enough
are we-
to
how are we
hurt
feeling?
someone's back.
Okay.
It was enough to be like, that was worth it.
Remind me, how good was the moon pie?
She came back for that moon pie. And like the guy, but mostly that moon pie. She
I
was
feel
thinking
like
about
you
that.
can't eat at everybody's house. I wouldn't necessarily, just from a one night stand, trust this man's cooking. And I would know that the moon pie is going to be good, so I would go with the moon pie.
Moon pie.
Moon pie. Sean,
It's hard for me to resist a full breakfast.
I love full. Yeah,
I think if it's the pancakes, the bacon,
Eggs,
the eggs,
yeah.
I gotta go with that.
maybe biscuits and gravy.
You mentioned biscuits.
I mentioned
Yeah.
biscuits.
That's what I'm
If
going for.
nothing other than to leave Sean alone, I'm gonna say moon pie.
Aw, cute.
That was
Okay.
hurtful. That was hurtful.
Number 4, there's only 2 more. Number 4, would you rather investigate the fact that you smelled smoke and fire after banging or just accept the lie?
Investigate the fucking fire.
Okay, Jess?
Yes, investigate the fire.
Okay, I just felt like you were waffling on that a little bit. I didn't know. Oh, no? Okay. So.
How close are we to climax?
Wait,
have we not
finished the
Yeah,
sex?
have we finished the
Post-sex.
Oh, it's post-sex. Okay, well, then yeah, I'm checking the fire.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like, well, if I'm like about to come, let's
no,
Oh, yeah. That would have absolutely changed my answer.
Thank you.
Look, not enough people take the signs of a stroke seriously, and burning is one of the most important smells to smell. So you gotta investigate that fire.
I feel like I always get health facts from you, and I'm really loving it. The grapefruit juice, like this, like.
It's true. Hey, if you're on Lipitor or other heart medication, don't drink grapefruit juice or eat grapefruit. It could be bad for you.
I also learned that from listening to your episode of the podcast.
I was gonna say, did I cut that out of our episode, or was that in there?
Shout out to my dad.
Okay, last one, guys. Would you rather be mad that your boyfriend is a shifter or that he lied about it? Think hard. You can only pick one. Are you mad that he's roaming around the woods?
I guess that he lied about it.
But like in the moment when we read it, we were like, "That's silly." But now that we're thinking about it,
Like he
we're mad about the lie, aren't we, guys?
Presumably he can't help that he's a shifter, so like I don't feel like that would be fair to be like really mad, but don't lie to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that, because it's also just like, why weren't you telling me? Was it like you were tricking me into staying? Were you afraid I would run away, but like, were you afraid that I would run? Yeah. So yeah, the lying.
The lie, Sarah.
I mean, yeah, we talked about how communication's so important.
Love communication.
I think the lie.
Yeah. Will?
I don't really like communication that much, so, no, obviously the lying about it. If I want to be a kitten, you can be a big dog. It's fine. Just tell me.
I love that was all across the board. Thank you very much. Let's hear it up for Sean. And that was One Night in Garoureeve. Any final thoughts on that before we take an intermission?
Everybody in that town has a terrible name.
Yeah.
The poor women of Garoureeve. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah. Jess, any final thoughts?
I really didn't want to hate her, and then at every turn she just decided to have no critical thinking skills and just focus on moon pies and dick, and I understand that on some level.
I think it's all adding up now that you put it that way. I'm like, okay, yeah, moon pie and dick. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't be thinking either.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. I'm glad that we are all on the same page, that moon pies and dick are in the front of our minds.
Yeah, exactly.
We're ready. Happy Pride. And we're about to dive into the fanfic of it all, if you
We're gonna
will.
tell another story. We're gonna tell another story coming from the fanfic universe, which, interestingly enough, Fate and Mates is not really a thing in the fanfic universe.
Shock and awe.
Yes. It is not an official tag.
Okay.
So I had to do a little digging. And I found the Soulmates tag, which is not the same thing, but we rolled with it.
It's in the same universe.
Similar words.
Look how high both of our voices.
Don't worry about it.
I would like to set a goal for the both of you to try to get higher and higher.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't do that. Have you met both of us?
That's for me, not for them. They'll hate it. I'll love it.
Bryce is also going to hate
Chihuahuas
it.
in my area will be on alert.
So I think we're just gonna get right into
start low.
it. My fic is called "So I Hope You See (parentheses) that I would love to love you."
Oh, that's cute. Oh, never mind.
Oh, sorry. Is it love is gross, but also cute.
It's meant to be romantic, but okay. It is rated mature.
Yes.
It has 39 chapters, 89,341 hits, and it was finished June of 2020.
Okay.
Before I get into it, Sarah, do you have any fan fiction background experience? Do you understand what I just said?
I do understand what you just said. I wrote a few pieces of fan fiction in high school. I know at least one was Glee fanfic.
Yes!
What was the pairing? What was the pairing?
I don't think it even made any sense. I think it was Puck and Mercedes. I just put random ass together. I was bored in study hall and was like, this is what I'm going to do
What
with my time.
song did they fall in love over?
Oh, I don't remember. I think I have looked to see if it is I think it's still on fanfiction.net somewhere, just to make sure it exists. So I know it's there, but I'm not advertising.
No, don't.
I'm going to find that.
You want to
I'm gonna find it?
Can I tell something else? My girlfriend, we bonded over the fact that she also wrote Glee fan fiction. In middle school. She wrote Kurt and Blaine fan fiction about them going to Disney World.
Oh my god. that.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, you see it.
Because I did ask you for your fandom.
Yes.
I was like, usually I don't, but I was like, if we do this live show and I pick a fandom and you're like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Just gonna glaze over.
Yeah. So, and when you said Glee, I did really try my best to find a Fated Mates. I didn't. That's not what we're doing. But Kurt and Blaine is so popular.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the main pairing.
That was like
Glee.
the original like gay pairing.
Yes. But we're not doing any of that.
Oh, fuck all that.
So we are doing, drumroll please, Twilight. So I assume, based on your stance,
Yes.
that you know of the Twilight.
I know of Twilight. I will admit, when I was in high school, I was not a big fan of it because I was like, I'm not like other
You're a
girls.
cool girl.
Other girls like Twilight. I don't.
I was other girls.
And now,
I was the other girl.
and now I'm like, this is the most high camp. I live for this.
Yes.
This is so fucking funny. I love it. The
great.
melodrama.
No one's played baseball as amazing.
That fucking
Family. Sorry,
blue
Cubs.
collar
Look at the
grade
Collins.
baseball
Just
scene.
Muse starts playing in the
Yes.
background. You don't know where it came
I
from. but
only
it's
hear
there.
supermassive black hole
Yep.
when I'm in a field.
Yep. Audience, does anyone not know what Twilight is? Okay, thank God. I mean, if you didn't, I would have gotten more into an explanation, but I think we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
But some fun facts. Twilight was published in 2005. Archive of Our Own, which is where I get most of my fan fiction and most people do nowadays, was started in 2009. So we had to dig into fanfiction.net to get some.
We're going back to my era.
Yep. I also was deep into fanfiction.net.
Good.
100%. But Archive of Our Own has a more sophisticated filtering system. And so that's why we go with that one most of the time. But just so y'all know, there are currently 13,700 Twilight fics still on fanfiction.net. And there are 10,995 on AO3. So we have at least 25,000 fanfics published on the internet about this fandom. There was a lot to pick from. It was great.
There should be more.
I know. Well, to get into the lore a little bit, like I could talk about Twilight as a fandom for a long time. We're not going to do that because I want to keep this tight, right? I want you guys to still enjoy yourselves. But yeah, it's a foundational fandom. It's fine. It hit right around the Harry Potter stuff. So people were still doing the midnight book releases and dressing up and doing all of that. The surprising thing to me when I was researching this on AO3 is I feel like usually with fan fiction, people will pick pairings that they want to see but aren't necessarily canon.
Yeah.
Not the case for Twilight.
They're like, more of this shit.
Yeah, people are boring.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Edward and Bella is our number one.
Okay.
Alice and Jasper is our number two.
Okay.
Hot.
Emmett and Rosalie are our number three.
Boo.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Only,
You don't
I don't like them in the movie.
You don't like Emmett and Rosalie
I
like
don't
as
like
a couple?
Rosalie in the movie.
Huh.
I don't like her wig is too much.
Well, lucky for you, our pairing is Rosalie and Bella.
okay, I'm here for that.
Happy Pride, everyone. Happy Pride.
I'm here for it.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I can
picture.
Google some stuff.
I'm gonna
and
picture
find-
book Rosalie instead of like.
Picture book Rosalie.
Yeah.
We need to do a little bit of backstory. We need to prepare for this fanfic. Can you two give me a quick synopsis of the first Twilight movie / book? If you can't, I wrote it down. I can help.
Okay. So Bella moves to Forks, Washington, because her mom is moving with her husband, and she's living with Charlie, her dad. And she's in Washington, and it's gray, and she's walking, and the Cullens are there, and she's like, "Who are these people?" And then Edward's like, "I can't smell her in biology." And then he saves her from a car crash, and then they're on like a field trip, and then they're like. Oh, and it's like it's almost enemies to lovers, but it's not. But it's like she's like so drawn to him, and also he crawls into her window at night, and he's like spider monkey. He's like, I can't stay away from you, and she's like, good. And they start dating, but he's like, you know what I am, and she's like, okay, you're a vampire, and he's like, yes. And then they go to hang out, and she learns more about vampires, and she's like, I don't mind, and he's like, I'm like 90 years old, and she's like, that's hot. And then like she meets the family, they play baseball, other bad vampires move in
Yeah.
who don't eat humans. These No, they do
do
eat
eat
humans.
humans.
The Cullens do not eat the humans because they
Right.
have gold eyes.
Right.
Gold eyes means no
They're
human
vegetarians,
blood.
yeah.
Yes. And then the bad guy from the other group is like, that's the blood I want. And Edward's like, not today, Satan.
This is my
blood.
My blood.
My
my
lady,
human.
my blood.
Yeah.
Hashtag not your blood. Then he's like, we got to get you away. So she's like, sorry, Charlie. And then all the vampires and her go on the run to a dance studio in Arizona where the final battle commences and the vampires fight and the good ones win.
The good guys win.
Edward win. And I think did I miss
That was our summary.
Yeah.
You should have well, you were
All right. I think the important notes about also is everyone is pretending to be in high school, even
Yes.
though they're hundreds of years old.
Which is so wild. Of all the things you could do with your life, why live in high school forever?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they could pass for college kids.
Yeah, probably.
Definitely could be college kids.
The other thing that's important is Bella's blood smells / maybe tastes really good to Edward specifically. So he's just constantly trying to not kill her. And that's a big part of he's like, you smell amazing. And then some vampires have powers, but others don't, and we have no idea really why that is. But some people have powers and some don't. And I'm going to really quickly run through that. Bella, her blood smells really good. She also is immune to mind reading, apparently.
Cool.
Yeah, good for her. Edward is... I'm also going to go through... Just by the way, I'm going to go through how everyone died, because I was doing research, and all of the women have... horrible deaths. The men die, but it's more typical, and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, Edward can read minds. He had the Spanish flu. And poor guy.
Sniffly
he got
nose.
sick.
It was an epidemic.
Edward was an anti-masker. He got the Spanish flu.
It was a
He
pandemic.
didn't do what he needed to do. He got the Spanish flu. And then Carlisle took pity on him, turned him, whatever. Jasper can feel and control the emotions of those around him. He fought for the Confederacy.
Oh, yeah.
Not
yeah,
hot.
not hot.
Was turned on the battlefield when he was near death.
His penance. This is his punishment.
His wife / mate Alice can predict the future. She was institutionalized in a mental asylum, dying there because of the horrible conditions. And Carlisle took pity on her and turned her. This is very different from being a Confederate or having the Spanish flu, in my view. Emmett was saved by Rosalie. He's like Rosalie's person. He was mauled by a bear. And
That's
Pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, but not socially fraught in the way that Alice's death was.
Okay, yeah. That is a fear I have.
Rosalie, trigger warning for sexual assault, plug your ears if this will be triggering to you, was gang raped and mutilated to the brink of death by her fiance and his friends.
Jesus.
Is this in the book?
Right?
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Stephanie Meyer hates women.
And that's why she's like mad all the time. I'd be mad too. So
That's pretty fucked up.
So you hate Rosalie. So
All right, you know what?
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Yeah, how you feel bad? I
feel bad for Rosalie now.
Yeah.
Don't you ever.
But importantly, Emmett and Rosalie do not have powers, and we don't really know why. They're vampires, and we love them for
bear.
that. Yeah.
The bear took his powers.
Do we have any questions or any lore that we need to go through before we get into the story?
I think so.
No, I think that all made sense.
Okay. All right. This is all from Rosalie's POV, Emily. So
I'm okay with that.
just so you know.
I'm just not picturing that wig, and I'm fine.
So we're picking up. The whole family is standing inside the Cullen home, waiting to meet Edward's new soulmate. Alice and Jasper are soulmates, as in fated mates, as the way that we understand the trope, right? And this is a thing, we get a lot of backstory in this first chapter. This is a thing that happens with vampires, is when you become a vampire, you have this biological thing that happens where you can find your mate.
Is it imprint? Is that the
Imprinting happens with werewolves.
Okay. Sorry.
Imprinting is werewolves. I don't think that canonically this type of mates is a thing for vampires in the books. Am I right? You're correct. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Check.
But in this fic, that is what's happening. So Alice and Jasper are soulmates. Carlisle and Esme, who are like the parents, are soulmates. Rosalie and Emmett are together, but not soulmates. Yeah. And Edward is like, I found
The bear was a soulmate.
I found my soulmate. Edward's like, I found her. She's this really awkward teenage girl. She just moved here from Arizona.
Hot.
And Rosalie's standing in the kitchen, and she's already fucking annoyed because she doesn't like Edward very much already, and she doesn't like the way that he's talking about his soulmate. She just finds it very possessive and kind of creepy. He's bragged about watching her sleep and calling her spider monkey and like things like that. And
All right, yeah.
yeah. And Rosalie's like, this is fucking weird, man, but I guess I'll meet her. And she hears the car pull up and the car door opens, and she just catches a glimpse of Bella as she passes the window, and her vision goes like gold. Ooh. And her heart seizes up, and she's like, oh my God, that's my mate. Oh no.
Does she smoking fire?
Somehow she smells smoke. Like, no, she doesn't. She smells Bella, not her vagina. She just smells Bella in the way that vampires do.
I'll never be the same again.
But she also goes, Edward can't hear my thoughts right now because that motherfucker can read minds.
Right.
And so she runs. She just runs. Please keep track of how often she runs. It happens a lot. Rosalie just kind of books it. Yeah. Thank you. And so she doesn't actually meet Bella, but she's freaking out, and she's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. Bella and Edward seem to be happy. They seem to be in love. I love Emmett. Like, we are best friends. This is insane. I'm just going to pretend that nothing is happening. Mm-hmm. Sarah, do you think that this is a good plan?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you deny all of your feelings and act like they never happened, then everything turns out great.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned in therapy.
So. Yeah.
Is avoid feeling anything.
Yeah, whenever possible.
Go after my own heart right here. Bury those feelings, baby.
So the next day, Edward is asking the family for help because Bella smells so good that he's really having a hard time not killing her at any given moment.
So hot.
So relatable. And he's decided that the best way to fix this is he needs to hunt more so he's just not hungry, and maybe that'll help. And he's bringing his family in to help him because he's like, listen, I also, we know that there's werewolves around. We scented them. We know that there's other vampires around. What if Bella smells as good to them as they smell to me? My mate, my soulmate, is in danger. And Rosalie's like, shut the fuck up. I know that this, in her brain, I know that that's not your fucking soulmate, and also you're insufferable. But
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Edward.
But they also, they land on this brilliant plan where the whole family's going to take it in turns to watch Bella sleep at night to make sure she's safe. Yes.
There was not anything easier.
No. They gotta stand outside her window.
Oh, I don't think.
Oh, not inside the window?
No.
I'm fine with that.
Well, no, because obviously you can't tell Bella that this is happening because Edward doesn't want Bella to get scared. So everyone's just gonna take it in shifts to stand outside her house.
You know what? Men, let's keep going.
The other thing that I wrote this down. The other thing that I need you all to understand is that this is all Rosalie's internal POV, and it's a lot of monologuing, and it's a lot of horniness just sprinkled in. It's a lot of Bella smells so good. Bella's hair looks very soft. I want to touch Bella, but I didn't have time to write all of that down for you all. So just understand that this is a very horny inner monologue that's
Got it. Understood.
So basically what happens is Rosalie keeps making eye contact with Bella at lunch, and every single time that happens, she feels the mating bond snap more and more into place.
Okay.
Because she's not met her yet. And so she's like, I keep feeling the connection get stronger and stronger.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
She ran away when she came to the house the first time.
Yeah.
So when she came back, Bella was gone?
Yes.
Okay, so they've never,
not met.
Like, met. Okay.
They've not met because Rosalie's like, I think if I talk to this girl, my entire life will be ruined. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
A disaster bisexual after my own. Oh my god.
I know.
The yearning.
The
The sapphic yearning.
That's this whole fic. That's the sapphic
This is such a treat.
Thank you so much for saying sapphic. I love that.
Oh yeah. Megan and I describe ourselves as sapphic.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So then after she makes eye contact with Bella and is like, fuck, no, I shouldn't have done that. It's her turn to watch Bella sleep.
Like the chore wheel. Who gets it?
I watched Bella last night. Can't you do it tonight?
I got a date.
And so what happens is it doesn't go great because Bella comes out of the shower and the window is like cracked and Rosalie smells her naked body, I guess. And
Did not use that soap as well.
yeah, and and before she even realizes what's happening, Rosalie is at the window, almost opening it. Oh no! Like, trying to come in and goes fuck and drops down to the ground and runs away. And then again, the chore wheel spins. It's her turn again. Oh no! To watch Bella sleep.
Cute.
Bella gets into bed, and there's a rustling of the sheets, and she's like, "Is Bella touching herself?"
Shut the fuck up.
And then
Shut the fuck up.
she hears a and she runs away again.
Honestly, girl, same.
What the fuck? I thought there was gonna be like a raccoon in her bed or something.
A whole ass raccoon.
The window cracked. I don't
A whole ass raccoon.
Those raccoons are wily. Like a ferret. I don't know. Like a squirrel. What's in forks? What's
Probably squirrels.
Werewolves.
Where I was really expecting you to say that you just hear like a. I was really expecting a vibrator sound.
I know. I kind of wish that had been, but no, it's a disastrous.
Oh no.
And she runs away, and she and she basically like storms into the house. The whole family's there, and is like, "This is creepy and wrong. We're not doing it anymore."
Yeah.
And the next day, Edward, because he's a whiny little bitch, calls a family meeting because he's like, "Rosalie won't protect my mate." Boo-hoo. And she's trying so hard to like not reveal what's happening in her brain. She's trying to like still keep this bond under wraps, but Edward's being so annoying that she just lets the sound. She lets the sound out. So Edward sees a moment of the sheets and hears the and Edward freaks the fuck out.
what a sensitive boy.
Sarah, do you have a guess as to why Edward freaks the fuck out in this moment?
I mean, my thought is that he's so fucking selfish. He's like, oh my God, she's thinking about me.
Do you have a guess?
I was thinking like, oh my God, I wasn't there to watch.
Like that. Like, I think Edward's so up in his own fucking business.
Yeah.
You're both wrong.
Damn
He
it.
is horrified at the idea of masturbation.
He's been alive for how long?
And he's not touching himself. He's spending his time.
He can't do it. He's too old.
Female or male or both masturbation?
He doesn't like the idea that Bella, pure, sweet, innocent Bella, was touching herself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What a whore.
Yes. And like Emmett and Rosalie have your reaction where they're kind of laughing at him, but Rosalie in the back of her head is like, my soulmate probably is having a very unsatisfying sex life with Edward right now. If this is his reaction to her touching herself. And basically, after they finish rightfully making fun of Edward and he finishes losing his mind, Rosalie basically says, this is wrong. If we keep doing this, I'm going to tell her we gotta stop watching her at night.
Seems fair.
Yeah, reasonable. So they gotta come up with a new plan. And the plan is that when Edward goes to hunt and the whole family goes to hunt, Bella will just come to their house and stay with them. And Rosalie is in hell about this.
Because her scent's going to be all over the stuff.
Yeah, and she's still trying to avoid Bella, and she's like, now this woman is gonna be in my fucking house, and once again they're gonna take shifts and like stay with Bella because she can't be alone, right? And so she just keeps running into Bella in the hallway. Bella keeps like making attempts to see her because she's like, oh, I just, I really want to get close to the family, and like the guy I'm dating like really seems to like you, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And at one point, Bella does something that I know that I've done to people where she just says, I have decided that we are going to be friends and get to know each other.
Yeah.
we became friends.
I think most of us have become friends with you in that sense.
Yeah, my secret to friendship is, just so you know, Sarah, is to just put my body near someone else's body until I can't
And hope for the best.
and be nice to them, and then hope that something good happens.
And then, and then once we're friends, you stop being nice.
And then I stop being nice once we're yeah.
Okay.
Just kidding.
It's okay. It's fine. We'll talk later. One night after Bella goes home, but it was Rosalie's night to watch her, and she just spent the whole time avoiding her. She moves her way around. Jasper comes into her room, and because he can feel other people's emotions, and he's like, "This whole house is drenched in yearning. What is going on?" And Rosalie spills the beans. Rosalie and Jasper basically says, "Listen, as someone who's mated myself, you're being an idiot. There's nothing you can do."
I thought you meant like he mated to himself. Jesus.
Well, Edward wouldn't want
I know, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he's like, this is fate. It's gonna happen. And he was like, you're also denying Bella the chance to decide what she wants. Like, you're denying her a chance at love.
Communication's so important.
Love
Yes.
Communication. Jasper is basically Will Nicholson in this. And so, but then after that conversation, it only makes the longing worse. And now Bella's coming around more, and she gets to hear Bella and Edward kissing, and then she gets to hear Edward being like, "Oh, silly Bella, you tried to touch my penis." And
Please tell me that's a direct quote.
that is silly Bella does happen.
I want to go on more into that, but we gotta get through this phase.
But yeah, so she keeps hearing Edward being just incapable of making Bella come or even engaging in that way, because he's like, if we start being more sexual, I'm gonna want to murder you, and I can't do that.
Classic.
Wait, so at this point, does she know that Edward's a vampire? Oh, no, they did this by the whole story.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
She's already met the family.
She's
Right. Okay, sorry.
Bella is fully aware about all the vampire stuff. She does not know about mating bonds, though.
Okay.
Except for what Edward has said, where he's like, "You're my soulmate. We're meant to be together." But she doesn't know necessarily about Rosalie or anything like that at all. So eventually Rosalie just gets worn down, and she's like, "Fuck it, we're gonna spend time together.
We are gonna have fun.
But she makes a horrible mistake. She decides, she's like, "Do you want to go somewhere? It's my favorite place on a cliff, and we can watch the stars or whatever."
Sapphic shit I have ever heard. This is the gayest shit I've ever heard.
But in order to get to the beautiful cliffside, they have to run through the woods. And do you remember how they run in Twilight?
Spider monkey on the back.
Does that count as 4?
She's running. Put a 4.
She's busy right now.
But
I was running.
But they run with the human on their back.
Yeah. So the scent is all over
The
her
scent
back.
is all over, and she's like, her boobs are pressing against my back, and her legs are around my waist. And I don't know what to do, but I'm just gonna keep running through the woods. And she has a freak out about that.
Boobs really cause a lot of stress sometimes.
Yeah? Do they?
This drink is a lot stronger than my last one.
So already Rosalie is overwhelmed, and then they're sitting on the cliffside and they're watching the stars, and Bella smiles up at Rosalie, and they kiss. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
But then
That's the end.
after 30 seconds to a minute of kissing, Bella flinches back and she's like, "Rosalie, what are you doing? I'm with Edward and you're with Emmett." No. Which, fair, they are.
Valid point.
I
but
know.
Who cares?
I know. And Rosalie doesn't want to tell her about the mating bond because she's still repressing everything in the world.
Classic.
And Rosalie's like, "Well, let's just get back to the house so we can talk about it." And Bella's like, "I don't need your help getting back to the house." And Rosalie's like, "Fine." And she leaves. But then... 5.
This is your new job now.
But then she stands by the window and watches and waits to see Bella get home safe, and she hates herself for it the whole time. But she's very protective of her because she's her mate, and she wants to make sure she gets home safe. And finally, she spills the beans to Emmett, and they're fine with it. And Emmett's like, we always knew this would happen. You're still my best friend, just so that everybody knows.
Oh, I love that.
Communication.
It's kosher.
Best friend.
Communication. 1 week later, supermassive black hole starts playing.
Is it time? Is it baseball time?
It's baseball time. Oh, they're playing baseball. It's a blue-toned
All I think is doing the splits while trying to pitch.
Yes, yes. So much weird shit's happening because it's basically it follows the book all the way up to the ballet studio, essentially. So Bella gets taken, she's in danger, etc. It's killing Rosalie the whole time because she's letting Edward go because no one knows about the fated mates thing. And she's like, I need to protect my mate, but I can't because angst, so much angst.
Yeah.
Because I need to keep up appearances that Edward and her are together. And she's mad at me because I kissed her. So, and this isn't the time to go through all of that. So I'm just gonna let this happen. But then Rosalie is the one that finds Bella in the studio. And she literally tears that vampire limb from limb.
Okay.
Good for her.
She like tears his arms and legs off. Like she's
rage.
yes, she's like full feral, like devolves into the creature that is mated with Bella and is like, I must protect.
I love a touch her and die type of.
Yeah, it was very much a touch her and die.
Yeah.
But Bella is like super injured, passed out on the floor. Rosalie almost attacks her family when they enter because she doesn't even recognize them because she's so fully like
Rage.
in protect mode.
Yeah.
But guess who also shows up with the family?
Emmett.
Edward.
Edward. Yeah, Edward.
Edward.
They're both part of the family.
And guess who hears Rosalie's protect thoughts?
Edward.
Edward
Is
hears
it Jasper?
Rosalie's protect thoughts.
It's actually Jasper.
And Edward attacks Rosalie.
What?
Vampire fight. Because he's like, that's my mate. And she's like, no, it's not. And then
Shut the fuck up. You won't even let her masturbate.
No, it's shameful. And the only thing that stops them from killing each other is Carlisle being like, Bella needs to go to the hospital. We gotta stop this. But basically, Edward sees through Rosalie's mind like the history of everything. He sees the kiss, he sees all of that, and he abandons Bella at the hospital because he's a little bitch.
Who's on our shit list? Derek's and Edwards.
Derek and Edward's the worst.
No one else.
Men ain't shit.
Men ain't shit.
So Edward, so Edward fucks off to Alaska, and Rosalie feels horrible because her mate is in a house alone, recovering, like has like 2 broken legs or something insane. Like can't move around, and she's like desperate to try to figure out something to do, and she's like, what do humans need when they're not feeling well? I don't. I'll make her soup. Yeah.
Yes.
I just remembered. I was like, it's soup.
Soup.
I'll make her soup. That'll be the thing. It doesn't matter that I don't have the same taste buds or smells and I haven't eaten real food in 200 years. I'll make her soup.
Yes.
And so she tries.
I love that.
It's really cute. It's really sweet. We get a whole chapter of Rosalie like going to the grocery store.
Shut the fuck up.
And
I love effort.
Yes.
love
And she's
the
like,
effort.
humans are touching me and like brushing elbows with me because she goes at like 5 p.m. on a Monday.
Rookie mistake at a Trader Joe's. Rookie mistake.
Well, she hasn't had to go grocery shopping since she was turned.
Yeah.
So she hasn't had to deal with it.
Turned.
Since she was turned.
Understood.
Saved from her traumatic injuries. So she brings Bella this soup. Bella is in no mood to receive this soup. Bella is sad because her boyfriend fucked off to Alaska and she doesn't have any working legs. And she's like, you've been...
Yeah, I'd be sad too. Yeah, I'd be pretty sad.
Exactly. And she's also like, you kissed me and then you didn't really stay and talk to me. We kind of got in a fight. and then you ripped a man apart in front of me, and I'm just feeling really weird about the fact that you've brought me soup.
Really? Yeah, what is the appropriate gift when you murder someone in front of someone
Your
else?
heart, the man's heart,
I would
or
accept
a
that,
limb,
actually.
or a fingernail.
We're getting very NBC's
On a
Hannibal.
necklace. I know. I did watch a lot of Hannibal.
Yeah.
It's not good for me. Continue.
So I did write down this dialogue because I liked it, and you're all here, so here we go. So Bella tries the soup. It's horrible. It's described as a salt bomb. And Rosalie is heartbroken about this. She just wanted to help.
You did your best.
And she says, "Can I help with anything else?" And Bella says, "No, I really need to think. Just go, okay?" And Rosalie says, "Fine." And Bella says, "Thank you." And Rosalie says, "You're welcome. Text me if you need anything." And Bella says, I don't have your number. Fuck. God. Take your salty soup with you. And then one thing we know about Bella is that she's clumsy.
Yeah.
Is she? She's very clumsy.
Okay.
So she starts to fall while holding the soup.
With the two broken legs.
The two broken legs have working legs.
Okay.
Because she's on crutches holding a pot of soup.
Oh, God.
That's before this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she starts to tip. And Rosalie's yelling, "God damn it! God damn it!" and catches her. And Bella says, "This is what I mean. Stop being beautiful and helping me and expecting things." And Rosalie says, "You think I'm beautiful?" Kiss. They almost kiss. They almost kiss. But then Bella says, "Rosalie, I'm serious." And Rosalie goes, "Fine, I'm leaving. Fuck. And she leaves.
Rosalie's so angry. Oh yeah, run away.
Rosalie's
She's
running.
not running. Did she
She's
run?
not running. She was asked to leave. But
I'm gonna do a half.
Bella set her boundaries and they were respected, and we appreciate that.
That's fair. Communication.
Communication.
But then, the next day, Bella, Rosalie is suffering from feeling rejected. The bond physically doesn't feel good. Like, she's physically not feeling well. And she's in the shower when she smells that Bella is in her room. I know.
Oh, fuck you
do
doing
not
in
like that.
there?
I do not like that. I don't want anyone in my room when I'm showering.
Well, she's not in the bathroom. It's not like that one thing
don't
that
want-
you read where the guy got in the shower.
Thank you.
You be quiet. That's my turn. Sarah's turn. But also, I don't want to like come out of the shower and have someone sitting there while I'm in a towel. I'm vulnerable.
Yeah, you're very vulnerable.
You're very vulnerable.
I
I
understand
have
that.
no weapons around me with which to protect. I just have my fingernails and my body.
Okay, here's the thing though, but for the sake of like fic,
So sorry.
Rosalie's like already naked.
Rosalie's
so then
already, yeah.
We're
And
already
Rosalie-
halfway there.
Rosalie does have this thought process. Rosalie's like, "Oh my God, my mate's in my room and I am naked, oh my God." But she tries to hide that. She tries to be cool. She tries to be like, "Hi, what do you need? I'm in a towel, it's fine."
Okay.
And
Got it.
Bella is very affected by the fact that Rosalie is in a towel and leaning against the door jamb.
Okay.
And she blushes really, 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 really deep and then says, "You look soft."
Wait,
Yeah.
Notice the difference of facial expression that just happened over here, where Sarah went, "Oh," and I went, "Oh."
Oh no! Like I love when my girlfriend is like, "You're just so soft."
I don't want to.
I love that.
I don't know. I don't think I think I just have a different body type, and I don't want to be called soft.
That's fair.
I understand that. I understand, but it's like a vulnerability.
I guess I don't want to be called hard eater. I don't know. I don't know.
You look somewhere in between.
You look medium. Thank you.
I think once again this might be a sapphic thing.
Because yeah, I'm
think
like,
you look soft
oh,
like
the
a
idea of another girl being like,
Guys,
oh,
I'm trying.
you're so soft. I'm
so
like,
sorry.
oh, thank you.
I do. I mean, I do lotion.
Good for you.
Happy
hon.
Pride,
Happy
everyone.
Pride.
I'm an ally.
And so Bella says that and then blushes more because she's very kind of embarrassed that that was what she said. And Rosalie fills the silence by apologizing and saying, "I'm really sorry that I tried to kiss you and came over so soon, like when you were really vulnerable. Like, I shouldn't have forced myself into your space like that. I really apologize. I just wanted to see you. Like, I was being selfish and I apologize for that." And that goes a long way because Bella confesses that she lied about like how into Edward she was. And she likes Rosalie too and feels really connected to her, but she doesn't really know why.
They're just like best friends.
Best friends. So they want to hang out all the time. And Rosalie knows that this is like probably some kind of mating bond, like thing that Bella's feeling, but she doesn't know how it works because Bella's not a vampire. So she's like, I think this might be the mating bond, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to freak her out. And also, if I play my cards right, she might make out with me right now. So I'm not going to do this. And so they do start making out on the bed.
I was like, listen, she's naked. She's already halfway there.
Yeah.
Let's
And
get
it's
to
very
it.
hot. It's very hot. I don't need to get into it. You guys understand. But Bella, like, Rosalie is surprised because Bella is getting very bold with her. And she's like,
Oh, I
kissing
do
her
declare.
neck. And she's like kissing along her collarbone. And then she starts like licking on her titties a little bit. And yeah, and it's all really nice. And Rosalie's brain the whole time is like, yes, this is everything I ever wanted. But then Rosalie like moans and Bella freaks out and is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And Rosalie remembers that Bella, up to this point, thinks that any vampire sexuality means that they immediately want to murder her.
Oh, shit.
And so Bella is like, I'm so sorry for not controlling myself. Like,
Edward suppressed her.
yes, he did. And she's like, yeah, like Edward always said that, like the urge to murder me was so strong.
Ain't shit.
Edward sucks.
I know, he sucked. Rosalie like kind of laughs and is like, did I tell you that you did anything wrong? Like, did I give you any indication that I was upset with you or that you needed to stop? And Bella was like, no. And Rosalie was like, I will communicate with you if yes.
You love to see it.
You love to see it. And she was like, I personally want you alive more than I want you dead. So Edward's problem is not my problem. And we can like do more stuff if you want. And Bella wants to do more stuff, but then she kind of like hides a yawn. And Rosalie's like, I need to take care of you. I'm gonna walk you back to your
She's a
truck.
tired kitten.
She's a gentleman. She's a gentleman.
She's not a lioness. She's a kitten.
But then Rosalie walks Bella back to her truck, and they're kind of like staring at each other and smiling and flirting a little bit. And then Emmett yells from the house, "Fucking kiss her, bro!
I love Emmett.
Emmett's cool. Men ain't shit except for Emmett.
I cut out a lot of Emmett from this story, but he's just like a very supportive bro the whole time.
Good.
Love it,
And
love
we
it.
love that. So then this just commences. Bella, the next day at school, continues to be so suave and savvy and comes up to Rosalie and grabs her arm and goes, I like you and I think we should spend more time together.
Oh, so it's Jessica? So sorry, Jessica's this person right
There
now?
might be a reason I picked this story, but we don't need to get into it right now.
Understood. Got it. Understood.
And so they fall into this cute little like routine, and they start walking each other to class and eating lunch together. And Rosalie feel the bond is happy, and Rosalie feels so much better. But Bella still doesn't know about the mating bond.
Oh,
That's not good.
drama.
And they have a gay little picnic, and it's really cute.
Again, that's some sapphic shit if ever
Swing
I
on the
heard it.
swing.
They have a gay little picnic.
This is so cute.
Yep. And they start talking about Edward, and Rosalie's like, well, you love him still, right? Like, it's not been very long. And Bella's like, I don't know that I do. She was like, I've had to take care of people so much in my life. It was kind of nice just having someone take care of things, but then he got really creepy, and I feel like so much more safe with you, and like, this is right for some reason. Like, I feel in my body and my heart like something is pulling me towards you.
Fate.
Maybe like it's fate. Yeah. And she says, but I was really excited when Edward said we were mates because I wanted something like that, like you and Emmett are mates. And Rosalie's like, we're not mates, actually.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And in fact, we have broken up. So
I knew that. I don't know. I was so
yeah.
Oh my God.
And she realizes that Bella knows less than she thought and kind of apologizes for that. And the bond strengthens even more, and they start to do hand stuff, and it's really hot. Like, not at the park, but like later. You guys should read it. It's really great.
Absolutely, we'll be reading this.
And then one night, the family is playing baseball again.
Classic.
Love it. Love baseball. And who shows up? You gonna guess who shows up?
Edward.
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 Got it. Okay.
Edward shows up in the middle of the fucking baseball game.
Come at the beginning. Don't come in the fourth inning, asshole. Am I right?
Yeah, how's Alaska?
Ugh. And Bella and Rosalie have decided, like, they're a united front at this point. They're together, and they do their best to just ignore him. Until a few nights later, they're fooling around. Rosalie and Bella are about to, like, have sex. Like, Rosalie's going down on Bella, and all she's thinking about is just, like, she's so soft, she's so beautiful, I love that I'm able to do this, I love that she trusts me, da-da-da. She's just, all of these thoughts.
Sweet. That's nice.
But Edward was home, and Edward heard these thoughts.
No, he's learning that's how you treat a woman.
He is, but mid-cunnilingus, he does come in and tackle Rosalie through it.
Oh my god. Can you imagine being Bella though? Like, this is great. What? Just a blur. And then nothing is, and you're just naked and you're just laying there and you're like, what's happening over here? Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Keep
At
fighting.
your most vulnerable.
Like, they're just gone.
She's also in a chair. Should I keep my legs up?
At least she wasn't doing a crunch at that time.
A reverse crunch.
And so they're fighting, and Bella eventually comes down and, like, tries to get in between them, but Edward is just, like, screaming, like, you shouldn't do that to her, she needs to be pure. And shut the fuck up.
All I'm thinking of is God is good. If
God is
you're
good.
a fan and you've listened to the Amish episode.
God is good, you
God is
guys. And Bella is like, I'm not yours anymore. Rosalie and I are together. This is none of your business. You need to leave. You need to
Yes.
fuck off and leave us alone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And Rosalie drives Bella home and is like, listen, I'm going to come back because I want to be with you because we're both very upset, but I need to go talk to Edward. And she goes to talk to Edward. He insists that Bella is still his and he will get her back. And Rosalie's like, it doesn't fucking work that way. Like, you clearly are not mates. You just really wanted to be with somebody. Fuck off, please.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you will leave and discard Bella. You were broken that night, and now you can't help but break other people. It's who you are, you vile bitch.
Murder a fictional version of a fictional and then she rips his head off, right?
No.
Honestly, yeah, go right for the
Rip
dick.
that dick.
Rip that dick.
We gotta finish the story, guys.
We're almost there. So he says that it is unforgivable, but it is very triggering to Rosalie.
Yeah.
She's so upset.
No, we're in this together.
We're in it.
We're doing this.
And she goes back to Bella, and she's just triggered and upset, and she's like, listen, I know you don't know my backstory, but I just need you to know, and I need you to, like, she's like holding her face, she's like, I need you to understand that I will never ever make you do anything you don't want to do, and, like, I will protect you, and I love you so much, and, like, it's gonna be okay. I love this story.
A lot more feelings than Garoureeve.
Listen. I feel like this is our dynamic though. Like, you
I'm always so like, this is crazy. And you're like, and listen to the feels.
and we're gonna get yearning in here for a minute.
And I'm like, look at this crazy sex.
So they, like, spend the night together, and Rosalie's feeling a little bit better in the morning, but she goes back home before school because they have to go to school.
Oh my god.
All in high school.
Prom.
She goes to school to get, she goes home to get a change of clothes, and then she goes to school, and she's waiting around for Bella, and Bella never shows up.
Oh no.
And she gets super worried. And so she finally goes back to Bella's house, and she smells Edward around.
I literally just heard Emily.
And Edward told Bella that her and Rosalie are mates, and that Rosalie's been lying to Bella this whole time and not telling her about the bathing boat.
My god.
And Bella is very betrayed and very confused, and Rosalie tries to explain, like, I kept it from you because I didn't want you to feel like you had to be with me. I wanted you to, like, get to know me and not feel compelled to be with me the way you were with Edward. Like, I swear I was trying to protect you and be like this. And they kind of, Bella's like, I understand, but also I'm really confused and I'm really going through a lot right now. And then they do make out and they do finger each other. But then,
Just what then?
but then like, and Rose, it's actually, it's not funny necessarily, but like, but it's not necessarily funny, but Rosalie is like feeling very good because she makes Bella come like twice, and she's like, "Yeah, we're back together." Dynamic together.
That means we're back. One was a maybe. Two, we're
Two,
definitely
we're
back
in it.
together.
Let's go.
And then Bella goes, "I still need a minute. I need a minute to think." And Rosalie's like, "Okay." And she leaves. Communication is key, but she's still very sad, and the bond is unhappy. And then after days of radio silence, Rosalie's like just goes up to Bella at her truck, like leaving school, and is like, "Hey, how are we doing?" And Bella's like, "I've decided. I agree with you that we should be together, and I think the pull that I'm feeling is the mating bond.
Okay.
But that means that you need to turn me into a vampire."
Rip his. What were we saying? Rip his dick.
Rip his dick.
Rip his dick.
Whose?
Edwards.
Oh.
Just cause.
Celebrate becoming a vampire.
Why not?
And Rosalie's like, "I don't want to murder you and turn you into a vampire." And Bella's like, "Well, this is what I'm asking for. This is what we need to do the mating bond, because it's only between vampires. So here we go." And Rose says, "I would love to just love you forever, Bella." And Bella says, "Then do it." Oh,
Hot.
shit. Hot. And so Bella calls a family meeting to ask them, like, she's like, "Listen, I think I need to become a vampire. Would you guys be cool with me living with you and pretending to go to high school with you?" And Edward objects because he's like, "You can't make her impure."
Shut the fuck up. Edward. It's a shit, you incel ass bitch.
And Rosalie is upset because she's like, "I don't want to kill my girlfriend."
Reasonable.
I get it.
It's fair. But then
It's a Tuesday for her. Rip his dick. Okay, anyways.
But eventually the family is like Jasper and the other mated pairs are like, "Listen, it's inevitable. Like, if you guys want to be together, Bella's right. This is the next step." And the way the fic ends, I love
The tension in this audience.
I love it.
There are people leaning forward right now.
"I love you," Rosalie whispered into Bella's skin, and then she bit down.
There were 5.5 instances of her running just to.
Thank you.
Amazing.
10 out of 10.
Yes.
Am I allowed to play the game too? Can I play?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I was gonna give Will and Sean a warning, and I didn't. We're gonna play Never Have I Ever.
Yeah.
Gay Twilight Edition.
Come on up.
What edition?
Gay Twilight Edition.
Okay.
Okay, so take a minute. Think about some things that happened in the fic that you've never done. Does everyone know how to play Never Have I Ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
we're
God!
gonna
This.
So whoever wins gets this amazing bag.
I want it.
Oh, shut the fuck
Where the hell have you been, Loca?
Please describe it for the podcast.
For the podcast, it is it said it was a makeup bag. It's just a bag. And it has the famous New Moon quote, I believe, of Jacob saying, "Where the hell have you been, Loca?" to Bella, which is very cringy and very gifable, and that's what it is.
I want this.
I need it.
Ever touch me again?
And win, Will. God.
And the audience, you guys are absolutely welcome to put your hands up and play along if you'd like. However, the prize will go to one of these lovely people. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna give it to someone who really deserves
5. And if you can't think of one, because I know I kind of sprung this on you, I did come up with a few that you can just pull from if you would like, if you need assistance.
it. Yeah, I'd rather poll.
All right.
Are they only things that happened in the fic?
Twilight in general or in the fic.
And so I'm sorry. Is it first person with all the fingers down wins the bag? Is that what we're doing?
Loses.
Loses.
Last
Okay,
man
so
standing.
Last man standing.
Last
Okay,
man
just wanna
standing.
Make sure.
All right, the first one is never have I ever played baseball.
Oh well.
I sure have.
Wow, okay.
I know.
Cool.
I pulled it.
We all put our fingers.
I didn't
down.
come up with it. Okay.
That was not against you. That was
Never have I ever broken a bone.
Yeah.
against- Okay. Never have I ever kissed a lady-identified person.
No.
But if it's not true, do I still play it?
You just don't put it down. Yeah.
Yeah, just don't put it down.
I still got 3.
We're playing fast and loose.
I'll do my own.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Never have I ever hallucinated on a motorcycle.
Sure have it.
Sure have.
Your own.
Nobody?
Never have I ever declared I was going to be someone's friend and then just never left. Like, probably.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe. Probably.
I'm on my
Yeah.
last finger.
Yeah.
Are we all at 2 right now?
I'm at
No.
Oh, shit.
That's the we're not.
Never have I ever kissed someone on or near a football field. I'm out.
I am not.
Oh,
I don't think I have.
Sure haven't.
okay. Okay. Sarah's out.
Never have I ever... Never have I ever ripped someone apart with your bare hands and all the rage in my soul. God damn it! Still, wait, was I 2? No, still haven't.
Still two.
That was my last one.
Who did you rip apart, Will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
God damn it.
All right, we're down to Sean and Emily.
All right.
Are you serious?
Yeah. What? Am I gonna kiss and tell in this podcast right now?
You have for the whole second season.
Never have I ever run through the woods to avoid someone.
Oh, yeah.
Never through the woods.
I'd be out again already.
Yeah.
That's true, I don't run, so...
I think I'll simplify it. Oh, here's another one. Okay, go ahead. You read it.
All right. Never have I ever dealt with an obsessive weird man.
Everyone.
Down to 1. What are our counts right now? Sean, what are you at? 1?
One and
You're at
one. Sarah's
1.
out. Will's out.
You're out. I'm 1. You're out.
All right.
Never have I ever fallen out of a window.
No.
I don't think I have.
No, I've never have. I've climbed out of it.
Nobody?
No.
Let's see. Oh. Never have I ever been flirted with while you're both trying to argue with the other.
Have a flirty argument.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Of course they gave that one to
We
me.
will share the makeup.
Well, I think it's only fair. I think we got to do rock, paper, scissors for.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, wait. On shoot.
Okay.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Fucking hell.
Wow. Emily wins it. A decisive paper over rock for the championship.
Emily.
Wait, Emily, I did notice you pulled this last one in the bag without reading it. Let's just, for the sake.
Never have I ever been interrupted by a family member by fooling around.
Wow.
Never.
Really?
Wow. Okay.
Baby.
I mean, that's,
I do want to say
I probably shouldn't have.
I won this, but I want to give it to the biggest Twilight fan I know, which is my dear friend Nikki Toll.
We'll take it.
I guess.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Give it up for them.
Well,
Fun had by all.
yeah. Sarah, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Oh, yeah, this podcast had everything.
That's right.
It had yearning. It hit everything I
It had
needed.
names.
It had
It had
names.
names. It had cold
It
war.
had made up magic. It had vampires. It had everything.
So, out of like 5 raccoons in trash cans,
Yeah.
what would you give each of these stories based on the trope? Which one was like the closest to the trope of fated mates as to
okay.
what we did in the research and your knowledge of fated mates?
Okay. I would remind me the name of yours because the name.
One Night in Garoureeve.
One Night in Garoureeve. I feel like I have to give. It's raccoons and trash cans.
It's 5 out of 5.
Out of 5. I'd give it 3 because I think it is there. However, I feel like for a good chunk of it, Ariana wasn't even aware that anything was
Because
going
that's
on.
fate. Fate brings you without you realizing
even
it.
have to-
That's true. That's true. I feel like it was more an energy of like magic and like less so. I don't.
magic.
Fate is magic. Fate is
That's
magic.
okay. That's I'll accept 3 out of 5 raccoons.
3 out of 5 raccoons.
And what would you give? What was the name of it again?
I would love to love you.
What? What are you laughing?
You looked at me with an I'm sorry.
With it like, listen, I gotta
Listen,
give it
she-
5 out of 5 raccoons. I gotta
I
give.
knew.
We literally had the entire audience on the edge of their seat. But I think, it's that I think this one had more of the yearning. I think that I like in sort of a Fated Mates of like, I think especially like thinking of like from an ACOTAR of like that same sort of thing of like, I can't tell them. I don't think there was any of that.
It
Of
was
just
a
sort
lot
of,
more of a-
I'm gonna fuck you.
Yeah, it was
like,
a
it was
lot
way
more
more
stubborn. Yeah, it was a stubborn like I don't want this, but I need it kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then mine was like, I guess I'll do it.
Yeah. I like the will they, won't they, and like the secret
I
of
would
it all.
100% understand that and agree
Yeah.
with you.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
so 5 out of 5 for her.
Three out of
for me.
five.
Honestly, I take it.
Thank you.
I'm an average.
Great.
And thank you.
You're welcome. Great work. Great work.
Great. Okay, so we did our final thoughts. We did our ratings.
Yeah.
I think the only thing to ask is, hey, Sarah. Yeah.
I have been so excited. I was like, I have a thing to share. I have been reading a book called A Game of is it a game of hearts and heists or a game of heists and
I
hearts?
think it's Hearts and Heights.
I
I
think
think
it's-
you texted me.
I did text you about it. It is a sapphic romance novel in which one is an assassin, one is a poisoner, and they're assigned to go on a mission together for the queen. The best part is it's like a will they, won't they, but they fuck right away.
Okay.
Like they hate fuck each other right away, and it is like the perfect blend of like romance and also just like fun high fantasy.
I love
I love it. Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah, chapter 3. Chapter 3,
Yes.
they are already banging.
Okay.
And they're like, I hate you so much, but this is so good.
I love a hey fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jessica.
Yes. I hate it. Okay. I've been reading, it is called, I had to look it up because so you know how I go on deep dives into a pairing or into a fandom.
You go on a Amazon.
I do. My equivalent. And I've been getting back into, it's a Stranger Things pairing.
Oh.
And it is Eddie Munson and Chrissy Cunningham.
Which is different from your usual Stranger Things pairing. I feel like
I
when
did a
I
lot
first
of
talked
Eddie and
to you,
Steve,
yes.
and then I found Eddie and Chrissy, and I was like, I might like this more.
I do love an Eddie and Chrissy pairing.
Because it's like, so this one is called Keep Sweet, Pray, and Obey.
Okay.
And the nice thing about Chrissy is we don't know a lot about her from the show, so we can make up a backstory.
Oh,
so
yeah.
in
Let's
this
see it or not, if
backstory-
you will.
Yeah, in this backstory, she comes from a super fundamentalist background, and Eddie teaches her how to smoke weed.
Okay, men ain't shit except for Eddie.
And Emmett. And they fuck on that
We
picnic
did say
table.
we don't like Edwards, but we love Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fuck on the picnic table, and she learns what birth control is, and it's great, and we all appreciate that. So that's what I've been reading.
I love
It's
a
just
corruption,
fun.
if you will.
Yeah, it's a corruption, but it's also very sweet because he's just like, oh, you stood no chance. Let me help you, kind of thing.
Gotta find my Eddie Munson.
Hammer.
Guys, that wasn't. Okay, so I've been so excited to tell you. I just finished a fan fiction, and it's Draco and Hermione fan fiction.
Silver Knife or
Nope. Oh, actually, I did finish that. But I also read one called Between Us Flows the Nile by The Bright City. You guys, it's Hermione with the mummy. It was made for me, and it's completed, and I read it.
Can
and
you
like,
send it to me, please?
I will. It's in
You
my
also
bookmarks.
can, so it's in
Yes,
my
I will.
thing.
And it's like, okay, it's like kind of smutty. It's like a hint of smut, but it's mostly like really, it's like making my inner nerdy Emily so horny. Like it's so Egyptian mythology of like, we've got to go into this cave. And I'm like, yeah, you do.
That'll be great.
So that's what I'm reading.
Ah, great. We all know how to read.
Oh, I love
Yay,
Egyptian
yeah.
stuff and Hermione stuff. I'm so excited about it. I want to reread it. I'm so happy.
I think, is that it?
I think we did the damn thing.
think we did it.
Yeah.
I think the last thing to do is just thank our folks. Right?
Yes. Hey, let's give it up for Sarah Murphy first.
You're very sweet.
Let's also give it up for Sean Buckley and Will Nicholson. And we want to say a thank you to people who helped us make our first ever fucking live show, you guys. It's Julie Merica. Keenan Camp, husband of the podcast. It's Bryce. I was going to say Bryce Dallas Howard, so I'm going to stick with that. Bryce Dallas Howard. Sound, and also Otherworld Theater. Like, thank you so much for having
Thank
us.
you guys for coming.
Yeah. means a lot. This is our first ever live show. We were like, let's see if this goes well, and if it does, maybe we'll do more.
Feels like it went well.
It feels like it went well. And it warms our cold, dead hearts to the core, and like maybe we'll do more in the future.
Maybe. We'll see.
But yeah, thank you so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so more. Thank you.
I think
more.
I need to stop.
I think we're done.
Yeah. I guess all that's left to say is that we're just two raccoons
Talking
about the best trash in town.
The town.
In the town.
In the town.
In that town.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Femmes Reading Filth is hosted, produced, and edited by Emily Barusian and Jessica Mall. Intro music by Tom Lehrer. Outro music by David Reddick. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Femmes Reading Filth. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.